Is this thing on? It's on now. Episode 151 of A Toy Kind of Mood. Here we go. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Going to talk about our best action figures of 2023, our top 10s. It's top 10 time. I'm Travis Moody, your host today, and we're going to go around the room, the co-host, often the host. Bobby, how you feeling, man?
I have felt better. But slowly recovering from positiveness. So the vid ruined New Year's Eve.
Caught yourself some toxic positivity over there?
I did. I feel bad. I feel bad because I thought it was just a sinus infection for like 2 days, and then Sunday I got some nose spray, and I'm like, I can breathe and I can't smell shit. And then Ashley goes, "You better not be positive. Which outfit for tonight's dinner?" Womp womp.
Hey, Todd. Sorry, Bobby.
Hey, you're good, man. Whoa, you made it. You made a valiant effort to join us tonight because it's a big show. We really appreciate that. Looking forward to your picks tonight. What's up, Todd? How are we doing? Happy New Year to all. It's going to be a very festive show. Our other panelists from A Toy Kind of Mood, it's Mr. Speck. Welcome back, David.
Hello. Been a bit.
How you doing?
Good. Back at work, so I can't complain there,
Mm-hmm.
Being knocked out thanks to dueling strikes for almost a year. I'm enjoying life back on set, but I got this week off, and we start back up again next week.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And hey, for those wondering, there is G.I. Joe content on the show tonight. There will be G.I. Joe content.
Don't micro hook him like that, Travis.
No, there is. But anyway, not really a guest, kind of part of the family, but always special in our hearts and minds. It's the FABSTER. What's happening, man?
HNY ATKM. Happy New Year, A Toy Kind of Mood. What's up, boys?
Just speak. Here we go. You got a new setup. You got a new setup there, huh?
Yeah, temporary, I guess, because I guess I'm getting ready for a move here at the beginning of the year back into LA for that tasty work that's back that David mentioned over there. So hopefully keeping things like still looking nice, but we've got a nice industrial setting over here with a full ladder. But I had to get that ladder out to actually reach one of my tops of the year. So
cool.
Worth it.
Yeah. Sweet, man. We can't wait. We'll be showing some toys. We took going over every brand tonight, but Hasbro, because we did a Hasbro draft 2 weeks ago, and last week we did our best G.I. Joe classified picks for that. But there's so many great toy lines that we did, so stay tuned for that. No draft, no craziness, just straight up. And then at the end, we'll kind of summarize our top 3 of each brand that we collected or at least bought 3 things. But before we get into that, guys, and I'll start with you, Bobby, do we have any New Year toy resolutions?
Oh, Jesus. The same one I break every year. I'm gonna stop with so many lines. I'm gonna, pare down. I'm gonna, just stick with maybe 1 to 2 lines. Just maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
And broken. So you know what? I don't even know why we say we're gonna stop. No, we're not. So much.
I think I did the same thing last year for a resolution, and I bought more lines this year than I did like the previous 2. So
I started a whole new line because that a-hole next to me. Look at these great Street Fighter Jada toys.
Boom. And that's a sneak preview. There's going to be a lot of exciting Jada talk tonight. So stay tuned on that. But I guess your resolution is you're accepting the fact that there really isn't a resolution. You're just
exactly. I have accepted my fate. I have accepted I'm going to get yelled at. I have accepted it all.
Nice. What about you, Spec?
What's what I'm talking about?
Why set myself up for failure? I was out in the desert on New Year's Day hunting and finding stuff. Like
New Year's Day.
I'm not making resolutions.
No toy.
That is the great thing about not setting goals. You're never disappointed.
Exactly.
I set other goals. This is my release.
Yeah. Well, you got to get ready. You know, you forget about resolutions. You got to get all trained up for Joe Fest. You get that big cage match against Matson, I heard.
Yeah, God, you guys got to. You almost got me to cuss. I'm gonna unmonetize you guys.
Yeah, be quiet. Yeah, I don't know.
No, we're past the threshold. Go for it.
I thought it. So originally, I thought it was 20 minutes, and Punk with Toys was on. He said it's the first 20 seconds or something. I don't know what it is. First minute, I think. That's the. We got Marb's Hobbies here. Happy New Year, everyone! If you're just joining us now, we're going to the best action figures of the year. Our top 10 list should be lots of fun. And hey, look who's here! It's Tony in the
Tony
house.
Spigs, what's up?
Romo, what's up, man?
Romo,
what's going on? All right, so toy resolutions, Fabster, hit us with it.
All right, I'm gonna keep it pithy because I answered this question earlier. Reject nostalgia, embrace modernity.
What?
Pass.
What? I'm just saying we're at an age where things have become so
I got those little
consumerized. Nostalgia has been used as a weapon against many of us, and I feel like we got to support some of the cool up and coming stuff that is pushing the boundaries now.
You have some nostalgic items on your list. They may not come
definitely
nostalgic toy company, but there is,
But we're very early into the year, so that could change.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, mine is just more content. You know what I mean? Just more content. I think last year we were just a podcast, and I think over the last few months we're toy reviews and news and stuff. So we just want to do more content. I think, and I want to see content hopefully from the entire squad. You know what I'm saying? And then supporting and kind of more collaborative stuff. So it should be a lot of fun, more content, a lot more work. So good.
It's nice to see more reviews, though. You're my go-to GI Joe reviews for sure.
There you go. That's what's up. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing it, and some of the ranking videos and top 10s and stuff have been fun. So I'm gonna keep at it. But I want to review a lot of different toys too. So we'll see. So that way, when we do shows like this, people will care. It's like you talk about GI Joe all year, and now you want to talk about NECA. It's like, all right, maybe we should start reviewing stuff all year to come to this place. But if you're watching today, we really appreciate you. So thanks so much. And we got every time I press it, that's gonna be hard, Fab. Without nostalgia, then I'm not gonna be with the classified line.
There's a limit to it for sure, but you can tell where some lines are a little more in good faith than others, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, classified surely is in good faith. And actually, speaking of that, I'll just throw this out there. I think next week is our most anticipated GI Joe classified show. So there is GI Joe on the show, maybe not classified, but next week will be, I'm sure, like 17 hours of it. So, but let's get right to it. It's the best ofs. We got our honorable mentions, and it's Fabster collaborating here with a Toy Con and Mood.
Oh, hey.
And all right, for 2023, get right on it, Fabster. Hit us with your honorables.
Yeah, there's some good stuff that's been coming out from Mezco this year. I haven't been as, on each release as I was in previous years. I think I've been a little more selective and just kind of seeing what's been like something I enjoy more about what the form factor of like soft goods and stuff does. So a few honorable mentions that I think are all like great, but two of them are definitely just repaints of something. The Theodore Sod Cutter that's the original version. The one that I had as the honorable mention is like the bag-headed Butcher edition that had green skin, which also came out like back to back with a PX release that had blue skin. But in terms of it just being an honorable mention, I wanted to put it on the list, but since it's just kind of like a version 2 of something we've had, didn't feel like it made the cut. That's also true for the Conan the Barbarian, which I guess is it was included at the same time as the Barbarian booster kit, which was a cool way to give you, more options for like a Mezco Barbarian set. But the Conan himself, I think, was not as good as the original. So, because it's just a second version, again, I didn't want to put it on a top 10. The other one was the Nautilus Crew set, which is cool. They did like a 2-pack army builder set. You buy 2 of them, you got your full crew. But again, they're just kind of built off of another character that was on a list last year, which was the Captain Nemo. So to just get generic army builder Nemos, you know, again, it doesn't feel right to put them in the top 10, but they were great. You know, I got my set and it was cool doing some photos with them and Nemo. But again, it's just like more Nemos.
Yeah. And
not
I definitely
new figures necessarily.
Oh, not necessarily.
Yeah.
More boosters.
They're built off of that same Nemo, so it's like almost like second versions of him.
Mm-hmm. And definitely would have picked up that booster kit had I gotten the Barbarian and not just the Conqueror. So
I'm still on a hunt for another Conqueror, so I can put the two heads on those bodies and then have the first Conan be like Conan.
Yep, makes sense for sure. It's too bad that is the Barbarian still going for like a lot of money, like $300.
Barbarian, yeah. Conqueror is like kind of dipped down.
Yeah, because it was easier to get.
Yeah.
Hey, you're all right. This is the first show of 2024.
Oh, what an honor.
It's a New Year's show. So what's up? Yeah, and we got FABSTER here. So what's up, dudes? Chris Daughtry, what's going on? Thanks for checking in. Appreciate that. All right, next honorable mention is Spec Mobile, baby.
Yes, nice. Let's see. Yeah, I did number 3. I did the Ultimate April. I originally had Last Ronin, but I didn't realize I got him in December of 2022. So
actually what's crazy is after you got April right there, I'll show it. But after you did that, I watched some top 10s and like some big time people had Last Ronin, but they had like Last Ronin Raphael. They didn't have like the original Last Ronin. They had like the specific ones, you know.
And I'm not gonna get the Raphael, but I did. I subbed for her. I thought about it. There were so many I could have subbed for, but this was a much needed update. I did not like the original April that came in the 2-pack with the damaged foot. I did acquire her when I bought somebody's lot and I turned around and sold it. And so I had been waiting for a proper cartoon April. And I know there's a lot of people that grouse about the length of her neck because of how it was shot in some of the photos, but I think it works quite well.
Yeah, let's get you there with the neck again. Yeah, no, that doesn't look bad at all. It's just
I think it's a solid representation, and so
for sure
it made my honorable mention. And then number 2,
go to Gecko first.
He's my number 2.
Oh, okay. We didn't list honorable mentions, so I kind of disregarded that. But go to Gecko and then we'll circle around. I
love Mondo Gecko. He's one of my all-time favorites. So if they release a Mondo Gecko, I'm gonna buy a Mondo Gecko. I do need to find one of the 2012 Mondo Geckos, but I loved the movie. Paul Rudd did a really fun job voicing this character, making him kind of like stoner surfer boy. And it's just a fun little action figure, you know? I mean, it's got a little bit of articulation for what it is. It's not a super expensive figure, and it's just a fun design and looks nice on the shelf.
Absolutely.
So I dig him.
All right,
and
so this last, I'll just jump in real quick. So this last honorable mention, Fabio also had Batman 89 at number 7, and I also had the Batman 89 from Mezco as an honorable mention. So I think this is a time where we can all chime in on Batman 89. He didn't swoop in from the Gargoyles without any controversy this year. It was somewhat of a polarizing release with how long it took for him to come out, and then just kind of the condition he was in when we first got him. But that, as you see, once you spray some plastic wax, stuff on him, he's great.
Yeah, so he made my honorable mention, and the funny thing is, I wasn't collecting soft good figures, higher end figures. So I, especially 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, or whatever it was, when he first went up for pre-order. So I had no idea of his existence, but I wanted a 1/12 scale like Batman. And then on the lead up to him coming out, it just so happened I put my name on the list at my comic book shop, and enough people had forgotten about him by the time he did finally release that people dropped out, and I was able to swoop in and grab one. And then I ended up somehow getting a second one because the wait list converted. He is a very nice figure. I've done some cool photos with him. I hope to do some more photos with him. Mine has the Harkness aftermarket cape that the guy, I can't remember his whole name, but Harkness made.
Is that the one that's like that? It's like for SH Fig Arts, but it still works perfectly for Mezco. Is that the one?
No,
Or...
he made this one for Mezco.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm sure
You might...
I think he uses a template and then he either just
Okay.
changes the length for whatever.
Got it.
It's a little bit better than the stock one. I still haven't
Oh,
found
the one. Yeah, the stock one was crap. I replaced it too. I think it might have just. I don't know if it was that. It was on eBay, and I don't remember who it was. But Fabster, are you the one who recommended that cape to me for the '89 Batman? Do you remember? You're on mute, I think.
Excuse me. There's a lot of people that do, you know, third-party stuff as it comes out. So once the demand is like pretty high when the figure first comes out, it becomes a little harder to do that like after the fact. But I'm not sure. I might have recommended Tony May to a few people. He did some good stuff for even the NECA one back in the day. So he did a run of these. There's Harker Customs, Daredevil 19 Customs. There's a few guys out there.
Yes, that's who this guy is.
Okay. See. Yeah, it was a good figure. I enjoyed it. You know, I don't think the years of hype and drama behind it were necessarily like worth it. By the time the figure came out, it just kind of like landed and it went off without a whisper. Like it was in the news cycle for so long until it like was in hands, and then it just kind of quietly disappeared. I don't think after it came out, people talked about it as much as before it came out. So,
and I think, you know, the big issue was the silicone body, right? Yeah. So, you know, yes, you can pose it. Yes, as Fabio said in the past, it takes some practice. Like mine has one of his legs, like when you get it to a certain area, it's a little springy. Mm-hmm. So it's a little challenging to pose him sometimes. And actually, he just locked up right there.
So this is the cape I got, and it's great. I don't have the Batman's upstairs in my room, but
I think GPS slot has one too. Yeah,
this one was perfect, and I did not pay 18. Because this girl Batgirl has 2 available out of 400. She sold 466, and I think I paid like $10 for it or something like that. But no, it's pretty great.
But yeah, he made my honorable mentions because he is a bit of a pain to pose at times. And I'm not going all down and negative and whatever about the silicone body, but I do question its longevity.
Definitely.
So, you know,
it just felt weird, right? When you first got it, we're like, is this thing broken? It's full of powder. It's stiff. It's like, but it ended up being a pretty good, you know, a decent body, but it just was like, is so strange.
Right. Like I think for the complaints that people had about it, it wasn't like enough to make it, you know, dead on arrival. I think the people who enjoyed the figure really enjoyed it and did a lot of great stuff with it in terms of photos and displays. And, you know, it again, just kind of quietly disappeared. I think people were just quietly enjoying it. I don't know. I might be one of those people. I wanted that McFarland Batmobile to go with this as well. So
I was
a lot of
just
great
about
opportunities for 89 stuff to go along with this figure this year.
And I debated about putting that 89 on the list, but I decided to just keep it to figures. And I know a lot of people took from the matte version that came with the Batman. A lot of people figured out how to take the Batman head off and kind of grind out the neck and use this head on that body. It's an okay body, and obviously the scale isn't correct. My hope is that somebody will figure out how to take, you know, the Mezco boots and the gauntlets and the belt and the heads and do a better, not a better, but a good solid replacement body.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Yeah. I think it's one of those figures. I think it's one of those figures that, like, if it took a year and a half, like normal. So I mean, now at this point, Mezco is takes more than a year and a half, but year and a half, maybe 2 years. But then we don't have to deal with all this replacing the cape, worried about the body. I think it's just the likeness alone, the amount of accessories. You know, obviously, once we get it all ready and good, you've seen it in hand. It's like a top 5 figure in any line, but because of all the bull crap, the back crap we have to deal with, it's here as an honorable mention, and you know, number 7 on your list, but you had plenty above it. So I think it's just one of those things, like a great figure, but just so much, you know, stuff that had to do with it that it kind of went down. But it was still mentioning. mentioning it because it's still a great figure. So, yeah, everyone, the seamless body is just very.
I don't
tricky.
mind it. I think it's kind of cool. It just, it definitely takes some getting used to and a little aftermarket care too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, our COVID friend over here is he's very quiet. Let's get him going. Bobby, your turn, baby.
Yeah. So I mean, these are mine. Look, that Clawful, that Robin, and that Deluxe Man at Arms were fantastic. I got that Clawful on sale for $10, and he's just straight out of like my childhood.
So
the nostalgia factor. That Robin. Look, I love Tim Drake. He's my second favorite Robin after Dick Grayson. And look, that Man at Arms, just it's a big figure. I like the Deluxe. I don't think I paid full price for that one either. So luckily Target has some great sales. But yeah.
So actually, let me ask you this, because I asked this question on the G.I. Joe Classified show. I was like, did value have an impact on your lists in your top 10? Like you got it on sale, or because yeah.
Great question. I only have one of my top 10s that I actually get on sale.
Okay.
One was on sale. One was on sale. One was a Christmas gift.
Right, but like, did that have an impact on making it, or is just ironic? Okay, so across the board, it didn't. It wasn't like because I got this. You're just mentioning your sales, but had you paid full price, it still would have made your list.
What is a sale?
What's up?
What is a sale? Asking as a Mezco collector.
There is none as
it's a when the price that you pay is much lower than the original.
Never heard of it.
Probably like no.
So many Mezcos went on sale the last 2 months of this year.
Yeah, and I had them all.
Like Bishop and stuff. Yeah.
Black Friday had some good sales
Justice
for sure.
League set that just came out that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah,
I am glad I was able to.
People were clearing that one out of necessity. They were drowning in them.
Yeah,
but I like Bobby's picks. Clawful is a great figure. I think I got both Clawful and that Man at Arms for like $9 each. Also, because Masterverse is my absolute clearance. Like I love the figures, but I'll only buy them on clearance.
Yeah, because they go on clearance. You can expect it. It's not like anything against the line, but it's like if they're always going to go on clearance.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody was expecting this Robin too. As soon as they showed the Tim Drake in the red and black, and he was on this body with those cuts, people were like, "Come on, where's the real colorway?" Boom! Yeah, there he is.
There he is, and it was tough. That Robin actually was in my top 10 until I remembered something else that is now my top 10. I got bumped down to honorable mention. But and it is sad. Moody, you and Spec brought up a good point. Like the Masterverse is worth what you pay for it. It really is. But if I know like another, well, you know what? We'll use Clawful because another one of my top 10. But Clawful was 30 all year here in Houston, all year 30, and then the week before Christmas, boom, $10. I'm like, I gotta get it.
Of course.
And now I've got it. I haven't opened it yet, but it's one of those things where like I know it will drop. I know it will drop. To what degree, I don't know, but and that's what sucks is like these are wonderfully well done figures, but if I know they're going to drop, then I'll just hold my breath and wait.
Well, if it's ever going to be the end of the line, at least they're giving you all the classics on sale, right? So that's the positive. All right, let's get out of. Actually, what about me? So honorable mentions. I was just showing you guys this because I hadn't opened it till today. I'm not going to lie; it's the PowerCon 23 exclusive. Demistros, am I saying that? Demistros,
yeah, I think so.
Demistros. He's from the Four Horsemen, but not quite a Mythic Legion, but kind of a Mythic Legion, not quite a figure Obscura, but kind of a figure Obscura. Just an ultimate baddie. I think I got him in hand. Where is he? Oh yeah. Then I got him with the alternate mask too, so I'll show this one off because it's just too good not to show. But that's
an excellent figure. I really wish I got that one.
And the only way I could, say, all right, I'll buy one of these to sell stuff on Macari and use that credit on Macari, because obviously this is an aftermarket item. I didn't go to PowerCon this year. It wasn't local, but kind of wish I did. Would have been a lot of fun. But yeah, it's and then a lot of people, like actually even Dork Layer, who's like one of the #1 Four Horsemen reviewers, didn't get this cape and skirt. I was smart enough, I guess, or lucky enough to make sure that they included it in a little baggie. And then it's kind of crazy. Like you have to pull off the shoulder padrons, pull off the whole torso, pull off the skirt, pull everything off to get the capes on. It's really like almost like a constructive fig in a way. So it's kind of funky that way. Big year for Jada Toys. You know, I had to go with Ryu. Actually, I guess I forgot to put, let's see, where did it?
Dude, I'm really pissed. I forgot to put Ryu on my freaking top 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, now you can talk about it. Actually, no, I meant to say, I forgot. I have a tie between Ryu and Player 2 Ryu, because in the game, in the original game, Ryu has the brown gloves, and then they came out with Player 2, which was a really cool exclusive from Walmart of all places. Fabio, talk to me about Walmart.
He's a vendor at Frankenstein, but he has an online store.
Yeah. So it's crazy that we got this Player 2 exclusive. And then, I mean, it really wasn't just his, because it was over in China. And then now I think it's kind of becoming more of a general release. But he had first dibs, I should say, in the United States. And I did a review of that if you guys want to check out, because I never reviewed the other Ryu or Evil Ryu. So I was like, all right, I'll review Player 2. It's basically, you know, a repaint of that. So it was fun doing that. And then obviously we talked about Batman. So big year for Jada Toys. And it's crazy that Ryu, you know, basically the titular character or whatever, the main character is in an honorable mention. That's how good the line is. So, but Bobby, while you're here, you didn't have Ryu on your list. Do you want to talk about that Jada Ryu?
I mean, like I said, when I both my unboxing videos, when I talked to you and Romo, this figure was absolutely freaking amazing. I've got him, you know, up fighting ninjas on top of my Ghostbusters firehouse. But the fact that Jada can make plastic feel like soft goods, I really wish other brands would at least try this just a bit, because you can't, like, you have to, like the photo right there, you've got him kicking. If that had been a Marvel Legend or McFarland, that's not happening.
They don't fall over either. It's crazy, especially like Fei Long. We'll talk about that. They don't fall over. And actually, you gotta get your hands on a Storm Collectibles figure, because they feel even softer. You're paying $100, but I'm saying just borrow someone's and look. You gotta like just Storm Collectibles. Fabio knows. Remember that Minoru Suzuki? The thing felt like tissue paper, man. It was amazing the quality of plastic they used.
I need to find the Chun-Li and the Ken. But
from Jada.
Jada,
Ken, I went on one hunt and gave up.
But fun fact on that Player 2 Ryu, I got to mess with the sample over Korean barbecue.
Oh, nice. Okay, where was this at?
Fun. I ruined it. I got sauce all over it. Not true.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you find Ken? Was it at Target? Man, it had to be, right? Because they're the ones who you met. Oh, you're real lucky, man, because I don't know. Dave Speck's the king of Target hunting. He still hasn't found a Ryu, or maybe he did and he flipped it and not trying to help out the homies. Great way to start off.
You mean Ken? No, I didn't find Ken. I got to the Target near me and somebody already got all the Kens that they have.
Oh, yeah. Same. When I went, the woman checked in the back and she goes, that's right. A local vendor, she said, came by and took them all this morning. A local vendor. She didn't want to use the S word. I gotcha. All right, cool. That's our honorable mentions for 2023. And now it's top 10 time. So that's it, man. Look at all these toy brands we are covering in the top 10.
Who had Medicom? I'm curious.
Not me.
Not me.
Bobby did.
Bobby had a Medicom? Oh my god.
Medicom is Mayfex is a part of Medicom.
Oh, yeah. I know what his pick is.
Okay, don't tell me.
All right. Spoilers, guys.
I'm not gonna say a word.
This is the motto for 24. All right, cool. All right, number 10. We just talked about this guy for 1 second.
Yeah.
Now you got to explain Bishop, X-Men Bishop.
I had a late game swap on this one. Originally in this spot, I had Mr. Freeze, but I think I enjoyed this Bishop a little bit more in terms of functionality, and I just like what they did with him. You know, they did base it off of some like a specific run or some comic art, and I think they did a good job of still giving it that Mezco treatment, but really making him look like an actual post-apocalyptic survivor mutant, you know?
Absolutely.
The fact that he has the blast effects, you know, to display his power set, I think is big. All the different portraits and the expressions. I like that you can get the bald head look out of him too. The red scarf that he comes with, you can wrap until it's more like a poncho really, and it like it wraps around him in all kinds of cool, expressive ways. Some people did have some QC issues with this guy, like when he first came out. Thankfully, mine was okay. Maybe that would have put him like a little bit higher on the list, but I think this was just a really solid release, and there's definitely been more stuff later on. Kind of a huge caveat with my list is there was a lot of stuff that came out like very recently that probably would have been on this list, but like I didn't get it, so I wanted to keep it the stuff that I actually did get. That's why Doctor Doom's like not on this list. The Fantastic Four, which I did get to mess with. It is a good set, the Fantastic Four.
But Doom isn't like did Doom ship from Mezco?
Yeah. People have gotten Doom.
Oh, see, I pre-ordered them from BBTS. I haven't gotten my Doom. So Doom didn't make my list because I don't have him yet. I'm waiting for pre-order, so he's gonna have to.
It's cutting it real close, you know, that end of year, like get him out the door season. Some things can tend to like miss out.
But actually, we could talk about this real quick because we have the Mezco Maestro right here. And Spec, how happy were you this Christmas not to get those turtles from Mezco this Christmas?
Right.
As much as I want them, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, dude, I was thrilled.
It was too many big sets at once with the Snyder Cut set and the Fantastic Four within like 2 months of each other, a month of each other, really. Yeah. It was a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So
no, because some of these would have made the list. Obviously, some of these Mezco that they're waiting on. So I'll ask you this while we have a break, real quick, Fabio. As far as Mezco, you know, you kind of been keeping track and stuff. Do they deliver as much as usual or more, or what do you think? How was their 23 overall? Like,
I'd say it was actually probably a little better this year than the last couple of years, particularly like the pandemic year had like a huge uptick in Rumble Society stuff, which is where we really started to see them take off with that. And that was just kind of meant to, you know, fill the gap essentially while so much stuff was delayed, especially the licensed stuff. So the pendulum swung like really far Rumble Society back then. And then last year, it was starting to balance out a little bit more, and now we've swung all the way back. This year was like all licensed stuff. I think there was maybe 10 to 12 Rumble Society things, but the majority of everything that came out was like a little bit more in the licensed material stuff. So that's good. I think overall, like that's better for the brand.
It was a good mix, right?
Exactly. There's a little more balance for sure. Yeah. And by balanced, I mean like it favored the licensed stuff a little bit more, which I think is what people prefer anyway in general, you know. So I think it was a good year for them for sure.
Yeah, but that said, and you have plenty of Rumble Society on your list. And actually, let's not trick the people. Your entire top 10 is Mezco. At first, I was talking to Bobby on the phone. We were trying to figure out how to do the show, and I said, it's going to be tricky having Fabio on. His whole list will be Mezco. But then I talked to Fabio, and he assured me that he collected other lines.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that none of them would make his top 10. I was shocked, actually.
The way I wanted to split it was so that there was enough for each particular brand that kind of represented how much like I buy personally, you know. So my top 3 for other brands is like kind of the only 3 I bought from that brand. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
I want to be able to give everything a good spotlight. Because there was just so much good shit this year.
Hey, across the board, I think more or less that kind of happened to a lot of us. Is a lot of the top 3s that we'll have at the end kind of running through the brands. It's kind of like the only 3 we bought from that. You know, a lot of us are buying Marvel Legends and Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Transformers.
And even the way I split my top 10, it could really be like a top 5 licensed, top 5 like Rumble Society.
Makes sense. Well, I told you if you wanted to do you know, split it up. But you were like, nah, throw them all.
That's kind of the way it worked out anyway. But hey, just no spoilers.
All right, there you go. Spoiler. All right, Spec, your turn. Number 10. There we go. You had a tie, but I had a tie for honorable mention for the 2 Ryu, so I let it slide. I didn't get mad at you.
All right, cool. Well, now you might get mad at me. So before I get into that, the way that I kind of tried to set up my top 10 was I tried to really look and see what came out throughout the year, because I do have several on there that came out closer to the end of the year, obviously fresher in my brain. But I also wanted to see things represented. Like initially when I was making the list, I didn't have any Masterverse. And as I was thinking about it, because I'd mentioned it before, when I took all my Masterverse down off the shelf and I was going through them, you look at them again and you go, man, this is a really great line. Like it bums me out that it's one of the shelves I had to clear out to make room for the Growing Joe collection, because that takes priority. So I did want to see Masterverse represented in my top 10, but I'm pulling a last minute switch, because as I was going through the tub to pull them out, there was one that I remembered that I was like, oh, how could I forget him? So Manny Faces is always one of my favorite characters ever since I was a kid. So I was getting him no matter what. And I would have paid full retail for him, but thankfully I got him on sale.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a cool character. He goes through the faces just like he did in the cartoon.
That's
and
awesome.
It even comes with this version comes with a case that has extra face plates, as you can see in the picture.
It's like Zartan.
Yeah.
What's up, Vlad? We're gonna say hi to Vlad. What's up, Vlad?
It can't be Vlad. Oh my
What's up,
god.
buddy?
Happy New Year.
We are blessed.
Stratos is still a super solid figure and was another.
That mask is great. Cool. That mask is cool.
Yeah, and even if you take all the updated stuff off and just have him as the classic, like it's a good solid sculpt, it's a good figure, it's a good representation, but there's one character that did it better, and that's Buzz Off.
Oh, yeah.
When I looked through the tub and saw him staring at me, I was just like, how could I not put this guy on there? This guy.
You got this guy in the tub with you?
Awesome.
Yeah. Good one.
Did you just say you had this guy in the tub with you?
Yeah, he did. He was buzzing him. He was buzzing him in the tub.
Nice.
He was like my rubber ducky.
Making splashy noises. Cute.
Okay, so I'm a little upset that I forgot that Stratos came out this year. I thought he was 20. I thought him and Roboto were 2022.
We probably were. Honestly, I was so like I had to work today. I didn't do the hardcore research I did, and then I remember after the Hasbro draft, all those guys were like, I was changing lists. I'm like, I'm not changing anything. If it's from 2018, we're gonna show you up on the show. I'm like, I'm not.
It's hard to remember all the stuff that came out super early. Like that Conan the Conqueror came out like this week last year. You know, so it's hard to keep track sometimes.
That's a good call. Yeah, I remember having Conan on my list last year. That's how I remembered, because he was in my top 5, and I was like, I just got this, but amazing, and I didn't get Barbarian. Remember, I think you were on the show. Oh crap! Look who's in the house. Bally Locks, what's happening, man? Dude, Bally Locks was amazing on our show last week. If you missed it, not too many people missed it, but yeah, the G.I. Joe Classified Bally Locks was great. So, all right, cool. So, speaking of MOTU, Bobby, your turn.
Oh man.
So, Ram Man's one of my favorite figures. I last year I actually cleaned him up. You know, from my old figure I repainted him a bit. This figure is absolutely like freaking insane. I'm gonna go solo because I can do that. The fact that this is like soft rubber, so you can like, so it's kind of like springy again. Like this actually might be my favorite deluxe Masterverse figure. Just the fact that he's a huge, solid figure. Let's see here. I mean, it comes with the 3 different head sculpts. The armor to carry his axe, because that axe is what the original one came with. I mean, it's just amazing, and I cannot I can't like. I was trying to figure out like what I want to do for my number 10, and like Spec said, like I need good representation, and the Masterverse is phenomenal, and I mean he's just such a good figure, like so good. I can't say anything else about this. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he's great. I wish that they could have figured out how to put some kind of like spring mechanism in him. That would have just put him over the top. But other than that,
I mean,
he's such a great mold, and he's chunky, and he's
great articulation. Like, you know, it actually does look like, you know, he's gonna start like charging at you.
That's
like,
a dope figure.
Yeah, it's just and like I like Spec. I love these, but I don't have. I have them all in a tub. I don't know where to put them. But they're so good. Like, it's such a good figure.
Hub time with Spec. You get a lot of credit from Manny. Manny was 23, but Stratos is kind of up in the air. He probably came out on December 29th or something like that. So, cool. All right. So that's our top 10s. And then top 10, shout out to our dude Ken Poe. Kind of threw me onto this one, and I had to pre-order since I missed the original, which you can see in that left box onto the right, the all black with the orange. And to me, that glowing green, the spectral green headless horseman from Four Horsemen Figura Obscura line. Yeah, definitely stands out with the green. In my opinion, is way better. So yeah, I love this one. Actually, I did the same thing. I don't know if Ken's watching, but I did the same thing. I was like, how the hell do I get the cape on? I had no idea the collars pop off. And I was talking to you guys about Demistros. You could take off the shoulder pauldron, the torso. You could do things to this toy that you can't do in other toys, but you wouldn't know that. You don't want to break it, right? But it's like, it's kind of amazing because, and Fabster, I know you messed with some Mythic Legions and stuff before, but that butterfly joint and all of them takes like forever. You have to like definitely use a hairdryer or something. Because I was like, man, there's no range on some of these, but then I found out that they do have a butterfly joint. It just takes like, they're really, really stiff. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's a weird socket. You know, that they have like a built-in heat and pop and swap sort of feature.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not necessarily called out, but it is, you know, one of the cool features about a lot of the Four Horsemen figures. So there's a lot of just Mythic Legions people that get Figura Obscura just for parts, you know, and they don't necessarily display this glorified Halloween decoration, which was the coolest thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, all the. Oh no, what was that? Sorry.
Can bring this thing out seasonally, put it away, you know.
Oh, just like one of my picks, I brought it out seasonally. But and now looking at the Figura Obscura, they are all seasonal toys. They're really they're seasonal decorations, really, to throw on the coffee table or the TV stand or whatever during different seasons. So real cool, definitely a Halloween decoration, but also looks fantastic on the shelf. I know, and I
like this colorway a lot better than the original. I just already had the original, so I didn't want to double up necessarily. But
good.
I was gonna say I keep debating about pulling the trigger on this one because it's still on Big Bad.
Still on Big Bad, yeah. And you know, you look at the price; it's $140. It's a lot of money, but for what you're getting here, if you don't have it and you're jumping in Figura Obscura, it's pretty good. Their figures go from almost $60 anyway. So if you're doing like
itself is like usually 80, 75 or 80 alone.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense. You get the cloth goods, you get the two heads, and he's a headless horseman anyway, and it comes with a bunch of accessories and yeah, the articulation on the horse is also weird. It's just a lot of stuff that you have to get used to. It ends up being great, but it's just different what they do. But yeah, I loved it enough. I know it's a repaint, so it probably would have been way higher had the other release not come out. But since it's kind of essentially a retailer special repaint, I just wanted to kind of give it a little mention. But it cracked the top 10. So 9 time. Back to you, Fabster. Go.
There we go. I just actually pulled him out too. But yes, the Mezco Green Ranger, man. This was the first Power Ranger in the 112 collective line. You know, we've had the 5-pack on pre-order for a minute here. And the White Ranger actually just went up earlier this week, in fact. So It's good to see them continuing on with the Power Rangers line, and getting this guy in hand was the way to sort of visualize and feel, what that line would look like going forward. And this guy impressed for sure. The soft goods are great. The body that he's on is awesome. The female Rangers that are going to be coming in the 5-pack also are on a new body, which is like the biggest news about this whole thing. But the body that they've used for this Ranger here, it's good. A lot of great articulation. The soft goods don't really like inhibit much. You can get them into, whatever poses you want. Spend some time on it. A lot of great accessories, effects, everything that you might imagine from what a Mezco Power Ranger would look like. And the head sculpt, I think, was for the Jason David Frank, in the calendar year that we had lost him to get this guy, was very cool for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Cool. All right. See that, Dave? See that, Dave story? We represented some Rangers this year. At least one pick.
Yeah, Ray has a question for Fab.
Oh, right. Did I check out Hasbro Lighting Collection? No, I don't really buy Hasbro figures.
That's why he's the perfect guest for our non-Hasbro show. The one guy who doesn't collect Hasbro figures.
I used to have some SH Figure Art stuff, but nah, I'm good on those.
Yeah, makes sense. All right,
from people that have them, I'm glad that they've gone so deep on that and that they enjoy it. But I'm here for just one really good Ranger one time. I don't got to buy any more after this for this version of this Ranger.
I tell you, man, I'm always jealous of your collecting. I mean, while the toys are more expensive, you don't have to buy as many. So it's
I'm not buying like waves or anything. It's nice.
For sure.
I actually got the Rita Super 7 to go with this guy because she's got a soft goods robe.
Okay.
Very cool. Shout out to Kyle Wadiga.
All right, cool. All right, from Super 7. Let's move on to another number 9. We got some D&D action here.
Yeah, the War Dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this guy is... I don't play D&D. My kids have actually gotten pretty big into it. But I saw these figures and I thought they were pretty awesome. I mean, he's a big, beefy, barbarian knight looking guy, and he's got all sorts of textures. And I got to find out where his other sword. Oh, yeah, I misplaced one of his swords. I got to figure out where that fell off to.
See, he would be good. He'd be good against this guy right here. So we got
the Demonstros. Yeah, I mean,
hold your toy up. Look, it's like you could just mix these two easily. Like it's how great is that?
You can slip them in. I just recently did a photo with him and Grimsword, and I intermixed the movie D&D figures because I found those at Ross for like $4. So I was like, I can have those guys fight these dudes. And I didn't put him on my list because he was in a cabinet and I totally forgot about him. But this guy, Zarak, he's a pretty dope little figure that kind of can go with him. A lot of little hidden knives and grappling hook.
Hold on, Spec. I didn't notice you had another one. Okay.
Yeah, some grappling hook, a bunch of little knives. I know he's got like a little potion bottle.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, he's a big, solid bad guy.
But hold on, hold the phone. We gotta address the D&D elephant in the room. Fabster, the game of the year, maybe the game of the decade. Where are the damn toys for Baldur's Gate? All these lines, D&D. Baldur's Gate is what's making D&D so popular right now, and we see no plastic crack.
Yeah, I've been saying that since early access, bro. Like, but there was no merchandising for this at all. Like, horrible. I don't think they were prepared for how much success that game was going to have, and I hope that they can keep the hype going so that when toys hopefully do eventually come out, it'd be cool to have something like what McFarland did, and I love those D&D figures from NECA. I just have no attachment to that particular toy line, but to see some of like the Baldur's Gate 3 stuff, which is like Forgotten Realms, still in kind of what McFarland did with the World of Warcraft stuff, where it's like one character but you swap out different things and it's like two different classes, but not like good where it actually has articulation and you can get different you can kind of build your own D&D character within some of the assets that could be used for like main characters for BG3. I'd love to fantasy draft something for BG3. You know.
Yeah,
Put
and we talked about
design
that.
or pitch packet together. How fun would that be?
Yeah, we talked about that. Spec and I, and I think Bobby we were all on the show, right? When we talked about the toys that we wish we had or something, and we talked about Mythic Legions figures and Cosmic Legions. How Cosmic reminds me of Mass Effect, and Mythic Legions reminds me of D&D. And I was like, what makes them cool is the fact that they're not licensed, but they would be the Mass Effect figures I've always want. I wouldn't want Mass Effect figures because, you know, like McFarlane made them, and I would want my Mass Effect figures to be from Four Horsemen. I would want Baldur's Gate toys to be from Four Horsemen. Not going to happen likely, but I'm saying like that's
if Hasbro's getting into the licensing game 2024 more than
what was it?
If Hasbro's getting more into like licensing out their stuff like they've done for G.I. Joe and Transformers to McFarland,
right?
Maybe they'll do something like that for D&D, you know, given that it's under their banner too.
Well, yeah, but like you said, NECA has them obviously with Spec too, so it gets
in terms of BG3 though. I'd love to see honestly NECA just do a BG3 line. That'd be amazing.
For sure. So those watching, if you're a gamer and you played Baldur's Gate 3 with a lot of people who played it, would you buy figures if someone made Baldur's Gate? I'm just curious because I always think that would work. So I'm curious.
Well, my kids just started playing that. So I'm sure they would say yes.
Okay. Are you like watching them play? Are you there over the shoulder watching? You gotta be real careful.
I started playing. One of my friends whose son plays, and they all play together. Like he told me, so I know that there's some spicy stuff that happens in the game or can happen in the game, and they know. And I think I can't remember on my son's computer. I think I clicked that content off or
okay.
I mean, whatever. They've heard me say worse shit than
on this show. All right, hey, on board.
I'm you know playing that game thinking, hope this doesn't unlock anything in me when you're in a certain romance scene with a non-human entity. Really fun stuff.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll see. But they haven't played. They haven't been going on and played, and I tried playing it with them one night, but they haven't been going on independent campaigns. They get online with their friend and their friend's dad, who's my friend, and then they kind of pick campaigns and go adventure on that. So there's kind of a chaperone that's there.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, back on board, guys. At number 9 is Bobby with Motherboard.
Look, this is one of those figures that I remember I wasn't sold on it until our friend Steven got me one. He's like, dude, I got one at Comic-Con. You're going to want this. This is absolutely beautiful. And then he sent it to me. And we're going to make myself solo. This is beautiful packaging. This is an insanely huge figure.
Yeah, it is.
Beautifully detailed. And I like to. I've been doing unboxing, keeping things, but like the fact that the plastic isn't here is like masterverse. Like everything about this figure is absolutely like perfect. It's perfect. Like the color, the sculpting, everything. It's yeah. This is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, could be a little higher on my list, but the next one is because he's an idol of mine. But yes, Zen is right. Mattel nails the presentation for their executives. Beautiful presentation because gotta make
exclusives. I think he meant executive. They do nail the presentation for their executives because I am one of those people who do that.
Either way,
So,
either way. But yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, no, the presentation for like, that's one other misnomer is I didn't include any wrestling on this list because I have like a bag of wrestling stuff that I've gotten from people and I just want to go through it and give it time and I haven't had it. And I'm going to do a podcast with wrestlingfigurenews.com and go over my best and then maybe make a video. So no, I didn't include any wrestling. It would have definitely made my list.
Trev,
and you too, Bobby.
I know.
It would have made your list too. Yeah.
I like the fact that I invoke your former roommate and he appears.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
Right
I invoke his name.
In the house. The nicest guy of 2024, right? the nicest man in 2024. Fabio's on mute again.
I'm opening up packages and I want to crinkle them into the mic.
Oh, you're so sweet. All right, cool. It's the new Happy K-Wish. We'll have to get him on the
what a
show.
space turn.
Slowly killing
Turn of
him.
the year, and we're only 3 days in.
It's 24 K-Wish. All right, cool. All right, that's number 9. I'll go through my number 9 real quick. Yeah, we had some great comments about Jada Toys, how the quality is up to level as some of the imports. I mean, just look at the amount of articulation. I don't know, what is it? It's got to be in the 30s, right? I don't know if it does have drop down, so it's probably 33 points of articulation. Then
That's
with
insane.
the butterflies and everything, and then they're pinless too. So it's and they feel good. Yeah, I mean I've had no QC issues for figures. Yep.
This is a weird comment, but I give a big shout out to Jada because they have some of the best skin tones. Like, my God.
Yeah.
On this
not a weird
Long,
comment.
on the
Right.
the Ken, the Ryu. Yeah, their skin tones are great. And this guy nails it.
And you interviewed June.
Yeah, at San Diego, yeah.
So talk to me about Jada Toys. I know they didn't make your list, but you interviewed him, as part of Articulated Comic Book Art and everything. And you're kind of like interested in the line. It's not something you collect, but you're curious about it.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a Street Fighter guy myself, so I appreciate that the people who are enjoying this are really enjoying this. Like, finally a good kind of flagship Street Fighter line for those people. In good scale with other 6-inch lines like Marvel Legends, so you can get some nice Marvel versus Capcom stuff going on. It's filling a lot of holes that I think people wished Storm Collectibles would have filled, but those guys are like huge and out of scale, really. SH Figure Arts didn't really like continue with the line until Jada kind of made it hot again. So it's good to see Street Fighter, getting good representation and the people working behind it. Yeah, June from Jada Toys, this is like his baby. He is stoked to be making these figures in particular. So the love definitely shows in the figures themselves. And I'm waiting for their Cyberpunk stuff, if I'm honest. The David and Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yep.
With
soft Jada Toys
in a domestic line, it's going to be good.
Jada Toys had a spectacular year all the way across. I mean, with the cereal brands and the different food brands. And
the cereal brands did huge. Yeah. And
we'll talk about one of those later on too. But here's a question, man. If you're going to be part of, I think we're at GEVO 6 now. If you're going to be here at the end of the month, if you're going to be here and you're not a Street Fighter guy, are you a Tekken guy? Or are you Mortal Kombat guy?
I'm more Mortal Kombat, yeah, for sure.
Mortal Kombat. Okay, we do have Mortal Kombat 1, but it's not the one from
the newest one. yeah.
So,
I'm into
it's
it.
back. If you make it, of those 3 titles, what's your fighting game, man? Is it Street Fighter or are you a Tekken, Mortal Kombat?
Soul Calibur.
Probably Mortal Kombat. No, Smash. Mortal Kombat more. Nah, I never got into Smash Brothers. Mortal Kombat more than Street Fighter, but I mean, I had them both. I had both of them on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I grew up with Mortal Kombat trilogy.
Street Fighter.
And Street Fighter for Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But the reality is fighting games piss me off no matter what. Like, I won't play them for years, and then I'll be like, ooh, I kind of want that new Mortal Kombat, and then I get it, and I didn't get one, but I think this was with 11.
The storyline is amazing. Play the story. It's like it's like playing a movie, and it's cool.
Yeah, I do like when the new Mortal Kombat games come out. Since I don't really like play them, I'll
get it on sale.
I'll watch the cinematics on YouTube. Just go through the story.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that can sit there and freaking memorize all the special moves and so I just get frustrated.
That's the best part. You only got to do it for one of them and then never play a different character. I did that with Scorpion. Has had the same combo since Mortal Kombat trilogy, so that's not too bad.
Masters of Terror, guys. Cool, man. But yeah, Fei Long.
On that note, though, I've been waiting for another company to touch Mortal Kombat besides McFarland, and
Jada
Toys is able to do some soft goods at the retail level domestically.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat is like a dream soft goods line, especially if you're going.
Yeah,
like,
we're begging games. Mortal, even though we always say, you see, this is why what was good about the beginning of our show. We didn't really say we're cutting down lines. We were realistic. We were like, yeah, that ain't happening. Like, we were going to buy everything. So bring Mortal Kombat on. We'll buy them all. I'm all in on Mortal Kombat with Jada Toys.
And I'm all down to, Jada's a great company to support too. Like if you're doing, again, because of the passion behind the product for sure. And if you're looking to get more stuff like this, they're already they've previewed at least half the roster already. So they're well on their way to finishing it off too. This will be a nice complete collection when it's all said and done.
Congratulations to Pain Toy Samples, man. Thanks for you're prepping for your daughter's wedding and still checking into our show, man. Thank you so much.
He is watching us here on the day of the prep of his daughter's wedding.
That's dedication. And I'm sorry, I think Spec, you had a comment about.
I was talking over Fabster. Sorry. I was just saying, if Jada came out with a good-looking Scorpion and Sub-Zero, I would probably break and get them. I have not broken.
Once you get those, you get Liu Kang, you get Raiden. It doesn't stop, man. I'm telling you.
No, I just cannot.
The ninjas, not
those. Yeah,
but then they'll come out with Smoke and Rain and Reptile. Then you just have to.
I mean, even Storm. How many female figures have they gotten out yet in the Mortal Kombat line? Is Katana and maybe they showed Sonya at some point. I don't know. I don't think they've even released yet.
No, they just keep making Ryu. Well, not Ryu, but they keep making like Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Exactly.
And different like alternate stuff, which I guess I didn't mind because I got that Player 2. But the cost, that's the thing. Right, so these are $24.99. If you're going to do an alternate Player 2, Player 3, you're not breaking it. I could get 3 Ryus with tax for the cost of one figure without tax from Storm Collectibles. So I can get Player 2, or I can get Blanca, Bison, Ken for one figure from Storm Collectibles. So yeah, I don't bring on the repaints. You don't have to buy them, right? So, but Fei Long. As far as articulation, they're all amazing, but this is the best articulated. Like the ability to pose this guy is slightly better than the others in the line. So he definitely is worthy of a number 9 choice. And then we'll move on here to number 8. All right.
Yeah.
Big selection here.
The Superman exists, and he is a Mezco 112 collective.
I got you.
This is the mind's eye version of Superman, at least for me. It's the classic trunks, belt loops, even one head sculpt with a grin. There were some complaints about this guy early on as far as maybe the logo being a little small on the size of the tampo, but this is, as classic of a comic Superman as you can get, and he's got great articulation. He's got wiring in the cape, the classic, yellow shield on the back. I'm really excited to actually have this guy for when the recovery suit version comes out, because that's going to have a clean shaven mullet head, and that's going to go on this Superman. And that is my Superman right there from like the
Nick Cage.
Yeah, basically that
90s
Man of Steel toy line, that Return of Superman era.
Sure.
This is a fantastic figure. I never need another just classic Superman again. This guy just nails it. It's maybe only the second figure now in Mezco's sort of like revisit of figures they've done before, but in like a classic style. They did it with Wolverine last year, and it fired on all cylinders, with 9 different head sculpts and the Sentinel base and everything. This guy is like right on par with that. Just an HD remaster of the classic Superman as you imagine him, and he works great in the Mezco form factor. So it's really like up to you if you can just get over the fact that it does look like pajamas, because it essentially is. It's just a spandex bodysuit, But you minding that, you're getting as classic of a Superman as you can possibly want. This is just a great great figure. I wish it would focus. It was
Yeah,
focusing.
I actually bought that for my officiant. I pre-ordered it like 2 years ago. And finally came out, and I was like, here you go. And it's absolutely stunning.
You should have messed with it first, Bobby. But then you wouldn't.
Oh,
I caved to the hype and I picked one up, and I agree, it's fantastic.
I mean,
didn't make your list though, Spec.
Did not make your list. Nope.
No.
He's a great figure, but he didn't make my list.
Wow. Okay. All right. We'll talk more about Superman plenty along the way. We've got you got a little bit of turtles. You got like a little kid's miniature. Looks like something you get out of a gift shop. What the hell is this?
What? How can you not?
Is this from TMNT GT where they turn back into kids?
No, it's from the beginning of
these farting pictures are that Travis got. Those are not the same.
That one is picking his nose.
Yeah, that is not the same. Travis, get off that. Go back to.
Is this what kids are playing now? Like we had the maximum sweat figures back in the day.
I picked these guys because I wasn't gonna get any of the Mutant Mayhem line.
Yeah.
But then I saw that they came out with the baby turtles, and they're so cute. Like, how could you not get them? They're quirky and they fit the funky animation style. And they each have their own unique look and personality, and they're just fun. They're just really fun. Like,
nothing wrong with fun.
So as I said, like I wanted a fairly diverse list, and I wanted them represented, and yeah.
I got all four because again, Steven sent me one of the packs as a Christmas gift, and he's like, "Here you go." He like on sale. I'm like, "All right, cool." And they're like, "Well, I've got 2 of the 4 brothers. I need all 4." So I have all 4 in front of my Super 7 figures.
Did he send you the farting ones?
He did not.
Farting. I have no idea where those came from.
Hey, you just told me what figure was on your list. I did a Google search, and that's what happens. So, but it's a funny image either way. Cool, Bobby. You self on the list. I see. You have a selfie series Mattel figure.
I did. Look,
looks like you.
Yeah, Bobby, that dinosaur looks just like you.
I know, right? Look, this figure is amazing. Like, I love.
Well, that's cool.
Spielberg. I he's one of my directing idols. This was a fantastic.
Talk about that packaging from Mattel, right? They're above and beyond.
The Mattel packaging is just so damn good. My mom even like that does look like you.
Dude, what the hell? That is you. You have your own figure.
I know, it's amazing.
I'm surprised it's not number 1 then. It's you. You're number 1 in our hearts.
The reason why it's not a higher up is because I was kind of hoping they would at least for this one, they would have done what Black Series did with either, Filoni or Lucas, and made him 6-inch. I understand that this goes in line with the rest of like their smaller Hammond collection, but even the box that comes in, it's a replica of the movie poster. So it's like movie poster with this with it's just everything about this was absolutely. And for $30, I think it was like $35. Like this everything was perfect.
I totally forgot about this one. I mean, I had to buy this one solely for the fact that it's a plastic toy accurate Panavision Panaflex camera.
Nice.
I was like, how do you not get it? It's your life.
Was this at San Diego this year?
Yes.
Yeah, you can still order it. I think they still have them in stock online.
Yep.
It was just like I was trying to figure out my top 10. And I looked over. I'm like, oh shit, this came out this year. Yeah, I gotta put this in my top 10. It's fantastic.
Sweet, great choice. Can't go wrong when you pick yourself. So awesome.
Always bet on yourself.
All right, number 8.
Oh, too spooky. I gotta look away.
Yeah, it's very scary.
He's
Very
still there?
evil.
Oh god.
So one of the main reasons I picked this one actually is not really even because of the figure, but one of the best accessories we got all year is just this grandfather clock. And then of course with the, probably hard to see, but the Raven, you know, obviously Edgar Allan Poe, and it's got the blood splatter, which actually looks kind of cheap, I guess, on the video, but you can kind of, with certain lighting, you can kind of make it look pretty cool. But
Like dry
all these
nail
figures,
polish.
yeah, all these figures do come with like amazing. Now I'm going to destroy my whole, yeah, never mind. But yeah, they come with dioramas basically too. So diorama backings, but yeah, no, the figure itself is pretty good, but it's just kind of smothered in soft goods, Fabio, which is, you know, up your alley. But yeah, pretty creepy, pretty great looking sculpt, and like even this kind of, it doesn't really articulate, but you can kind of mess with it like a little bit. So kind of, you know, and then the blood splatter there, and then
yes, I love that the blood on the face is like a wax seal.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And then, yeah, so then obviously you take the soft off, and then you can see right here. I won't have to do it because we got it here, but yeah. Oh, no, we don't. I didn't actually get the picture of it, but it's an actual, just a skeleton.
It's like a zombie body underneath.
Zombie body, but yeah.
They reached like directly into my thoughts for this one. It's a spooky, scary skeleton with.
See, I'm not even you guys never know me as that, like spooky, scary. I don't even watch like anything.
You held my hand during Scary Movie 2, and I was like, no, man, this is a parody.
Well, that's true. That's the only time. But yeah, Magic number 8. Love it. Love what they've done. Figure Obscura. And yeah, almost all their figures made my list. So, but yeah, this was, I actually was going to have it higher, but then I was like, I love the accessory more than the figure. So as much as I love the figure, so I was like, yeah, probably is a good spot. Keep it number 8. All right. Lucky number 7. We're not going to spec because number 7 on Fabio was Mezco Batman, which we already covered. So
yeah.
Your number 7 was Mezco Batman 89, but we'll go right into Spec's choice. We got, is this the correct turtles or did I get it wrong?
No, these are the right ones.
All right, the Mirage Comics 4-pack.
Now, if you could have found them farting, that would have been.
Yeah, there is farting. See the bubbles up top there?
Those are the ninja stars.
No, I know. I'm reaching. I'm reaching.
Ninja star fart bubbles. I put these on my list because I wasn't going to buy them. I said, no, I don't need yet another representation of Ninja Turtles. And then I saw them in the store, and they are amazing. So I bought them. And because of that, I felt like they deserved a spot on my list. Like if I put in my brain, like I'm not getting these and something can change my mind and make me get them.
They're pretty good indication it deserves your
list. Yeah. And they're just, it's that 90s representation. Anybody that had like the original Nintendo game, like saw this representation on the cover. They're big, they're beefy, they're beat up, they're angry.
Let's get you close here.
Full size. NECA did a nice job with these in terms of being able to swap. So, because they all have the red bandana. So if I wanted this head on Raph, I can, everything's interchangeable, the hands, the heads. But yet each body still has their unique belts and looks in terms of that.
Were they on sale?
Yeah.
That's the question.
On sale. I wish.
NECA's never on sale.
NECA doesn't go on sale either. Right. Yeah, maybe sometimes you might get $1 off an alien figure or something.
Well,
literally $1 off. It'll be like on sale $1.49 off.
For the first time that I can remember, this December, it was early December. Like Target had everything NECA on sale. Everything was 20% off. Inflation product, whatever. There were all these sets, and it was any set you could find. Any of the old 2-packs that have been getting reprinted or back on the, like if you found it, it was 20% off. It was in the app at 20% off. I didn't buy anything new. I've kind of been slowing down on NECA. But there were like a lot of Gargoyle figures and stuff that I had bought that I bought at 20% off and then returned, and so that I got the discount price.
Cool. All right. That's number 7. Up next, Bobby, did you get this on sale?
Kind of like.
Oh, your number 7 was a Batman '89 too. That's so cute, Bobby. You're just like me for real.
Bobby, if only I had your hair, I'd be perfect.
I think you're perfect now, Bobby.
Oh, thank you, Fabio. I appreciate that. No, look, I got this, and I just opened it actually today. I've had it for about a week.
Oh,
And somehow you opened it and it landed in my house.
I know, right? Look, I have a lot of great things to say about this figure and the car. The car looks cool. The car is it's actually up on top. Let's see, it's right there. But like the figure is actually really, really badass. And I've said this before, Trav, on the show with you and with Spec for Marvel Legends, is that when they do something that's so good, I expect it from them for everything else now. And so when we look at like this Batman, like the soft goods cape is really, really badass. I actually really like it. Now, sure, plenty of, some not negatives, but the only one set of hands, which are fists. I wouldn't have killed him throwing a batarang.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Just fisties, huh?
Right. And
wait, no gripping hands?
No grippy hands. No.
I was supposed to hold the wheel.
You gotta hold it like this, literally like this.
You gotta pretend like you did when you were 5.
Exactly.
Daddy Todd, come on, man.
And I hate to make the comparisons to Hasbro, but we're getting the Vamp and Clutch this year.
Yeah.
And granted, it is $25 more, but it is smaller, and you get so much more with it. Like literally, if he had just come with an extra set of hands, fine. And then like if the car had the like flame effect from the turbine, and maybe like the gun. I know Ramen Toys has like the machine guns.
Yeah.
If they had come with that, those two little things, this would have been like a lot higher on my list, and I think a lot higher on a lot of other people's lists. But as it is, like this is a badass figure, and I now have, I think, I'm going to say it, I think I'm done collecting Batman McFarland. I'm done. I have all the figures I want.
I don't believe it. They'll come out with something. You'll want it. You'll get it. There's so many Batmans that they can pull from that you'll be like, oh, that one's so cool.
Fine. If they did like the Adam West Batman, fine. Right. But like I've got 89.
Done the Adam West Batman.
In this scale.
Yeah, it's a different scale. Yeah.
I'll get it when I'm done. Cool.
My
man.
only complaint with this was the only McFarlane figure that I've bought in 2 or 3 years now. And I had both versions of the Batmobile. I sold the glossy one and kept the matte one.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I complain that the figure doesn't really look like Keaton, but it's McFarlane and face, likeness rights and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
I understand why he has the neck articulation, but it takes away from the costume looking like 89 Batman. Everything about the costume is 89 Batman till you get to the neck, which is famously a thick neck that he couldn't move in.
Yeah, it was one piece.
And it kind of kills it for me a little bit.
And it's gold instead of yellow. That might do it for some people too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's still a good set. I actually just want this for the Batmobile because I want it for the Mezco '89 Batman.
Yeah.
But from having messed with, I think the what is it, like a 6-pack version of all the movie Batmans in one box.
Yeah.
I messed with that version of this Keaton, and it's cool, it poses well, but like you're saying, it just doesn't have the right like silhouette, I guess, because of the neck.
Yeah. But the Batmobile's cool. It was, I don't know if it's still up. It was on Amazon with a
I think it's still up.
20% off coupon yesterday.
Oh man.
So it'd be $60 instead of 75.
Yeah. And I do prefer the matte whatever over the other one. for sure. The matte
Very
version is more, just feels more like the OG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like it depends on the movie, because like if you go to the Peterson Auto Museum, they have one and it's gloss. I can't remember. I think the first movie was gloss and the second movie was matte. But it's pros and cons. The gloss one shows scratches and stuff a lot more and shows the flaws in the McFarland, the packaging or but then the matte, if you look at it, it actually shows the flaws in the plastic, like the dips and everything that aren't fairly even. It's trade-offs, but like for photography and everything, the matte is nicer because it's a lot easier to light.
I can see that.
And the canopy is painted the same color, because the glossy one had like a weirdly miscolored canopy.
It was a paint error. It was a factory error. But Ramen Toys, they have a set that you can get for $30. You can pre-order it. It's supposed to ship this month, I think. I haven't done it yet, but it's a new canopy that doesn't have the giant windows, and it's got the guns that just sort of mount on top of the area, and then the gas caps if you wanted to use them. But it comes in glossy or matte. So that if you had the glossy one, it would help alleviate that.
All right, let's move on from that number 7 to, and I promised G.I. Joe, and we got G.I. Joe. So it's Cobra, Destro, Mars Industries. I think the reason I chose these pictures is that crazy demonically Jokerish smile that you don't really often see that on Destro. I like the liberties that Mezco makes to Mezcify their figures with G.I. Joe, and it still at the end of the day feels like a real American hero with the several other face looks, and we'll look more at Destro later. Someone else had this in their choices, but it was a great selection. The reason he's kind of low on my list, and there's number 7 in the left corner, is because the briefcase snapped. I broke really easily, and when I contacted BBTS, they were like, that's a Mezco problem. When I contacted Mezco, they were like, that's a BBTS problem. So I just never got it replaced. I don't want a whole figure. I just want a briefcase. But at this point, I think maybe I can just grab one from Gridiron or something. I think they have an
extra loose one that somebody's parting out in like the Facebook groups. This guy went pretty deep clearance during Black Friday, so I'm sure some people ended up with extras.
We have a special guest on the show.
There's a dog.
Oh boy.
But Destro was there wasn't a whole lot of G.I. Joe from Mezco this year, but there was some. This was the first one, right? So this was the first inaugural Mezco Joe, and I think the thing is getting the classified version first. Obviously this is superior, but it's similar. It's like we didn't, we're kind of getting that with Storm Shadow, Firefly, and Snake Eyes. If you're already in the classified, it's great to get a Mezco version, but it's literally the same one, where it would have been nice to just kind of get different versions. Like
this is where Mezco's art direction, I think, lends itself really well, is to modernized military stuff like this. G.I. Joe, like the Duke looks crazy cool. The Roadblock that people have been getting in hand.
Well, that's one thing. Duke does look different, but to many Joe fans' dismay, and we can talk about that. Obviously, I think on our preview show in a couple weeks or something, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so that art direction works well, but it's not like not much different than what Classified has done to do that same modernization.
But this is what I like. Like, if we didn't get this face sculpt, it would literally be the same toy. I mean, granted, Classified has one face sculpt, but the other ones are not as different. Where this is
I'm
just
really
like
partial to the really angular head on this set.
That one's that's the best one, and we'll see that later. But the fact that they give you a curveball, and it reminds me, actually, just to bring up wrestling, when Mattel does Ultimate, their figures, they give you the 3 head sculpts, and one's always completely zany that it doesn't even look like the wrestler, and I'm okay with that, because it's an Ultimate version. They'll give you like something crazy where it's blowing smoke or crying or something that rather than like a shouting face or a stern face. So that's why I really appreciate what Mezco is kind of giving us, that 3rd or 4th head sculpt that's just off this chart, out of this world. That's more for Mezco. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, so that's why he made my number 7. All right, and sticking with Mezco, of course, Fabster.
Man, this was a really, really sick figure. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but when I was in sort of the spooky season mood, I had finally broken this guy out and started doing some photography on my Instagram at Fabster360. There's actually like a prop that I've had for years that I finally got to break out, like the big meat hook thing, and take some photos with that. And just doing all the different swapping around and all of the sort of scene accurate looks you can get out of this guy. Like, you see the 3 different masks there, and those are from 3 different times in the movie, and he's wearing different outfits to go along with him. So you got him in the classic leather face with like the butcher smock all bloody. Then you can get him in the pretty woman dinner jacket from the very end of the movie. And then you can get him in the middle from the sort of cooking dinner scene where he's in like the old lady mask and all the crazy murder implements, the blood effects that like go on the chainsaw. The chainsaw for some reason like makes noises. There's really no need for that, but it makes a revving noise, and it's so cool.
That chainsaw looks just like the Gridiron Bloody one I have on my buzzer. Like they came out with a bloody chainsaw horror chainsaw.
Does that one make noises though? It always comes down to noises.
No, and it's more expensive.
Yeah. This guy was cool, and he's on an all new body too, so it's kind of a more like round, rotund. He's got a gut basically, and still got double jointed elbows. The skin tone on this guy is really great too. I'm wondering if they'll end up reusing this body for like Dr. Octopus or something, which has been teased. Hey, what's up, Pac?
We were just talking about McFarland for like an hour. Where you been?
I know. What happened, dude? You're looking at the sides so much. I think I pulled an ocular nerve.
Yep, go blue on all my selections. I have a Michigan logo. That's where it's up. That's what's up, man.
But yeah, this Leatherface basically completes, a Mezco sort of Titans of Terror in the 112 line. You got your Freddy, you got 2 Michael Myers, you got a Jason. Now Leatherface, like you're set. Plus Pennywise, if you want to get modern with it too. This was if you're trying to build that team or whatever, this has been a long time coming.
Awesome.
Really, really good figure.
All right. Next up, Spec. This is one that appeared on a lot of I know I see Bobby laughing, but Alf has made a lot of lists across YouTube, like on a lot of like a lot of miscellaneous lists or a lot of top 10 on a lot of big time YouTube dudes lists. So this is a great choice. Actually, it's not quite the dark horse you think it is.
I hadn't seen those lists. I just think it's a great figure. The one you have the picture of is the Comic-Con exclusive, which I would have loved just for the still camera, but I'm not going to go spend $30 on a figure for one tiny accessory. But I mean, I loved Alf as a kid. I had a stuffed Alf. I used to watch the cartoon when I could. I think I've said it on here before. I grew up in the army, so I spent the majority of the 80s in Germany, and the only way to really see cartoons was to have grandparents record them and send VHSs over. And so that's how I saw a lot of the Alf cartoon. But yeah, I loved the character. I loved the show. It just looks spot on. The articulation with him is great. He comes with a lot of cool accessories. He comes with the ham radio, a cat between 2 pieces of French bread, a big bag of broccoli that looked like weed. He does have a Hawaiian shirt, a ton of hands, fully articulating mouth and jaw. And he's a great figure. He's a really fun figure. Like, again, fun. Had a lot of, I'm hoping to do a couple photos with him in the future. What can I say?
The one with the cat sandwich?
It's the one with the cat sandwich.
Nice. That's fun.
So
that's funny. Yeah, I loved Alf as a kid. I never saw any of the Alf figures here in Houston, but
I saw him at Target a couple times. I picked this one up at the comic shop. They got him in before anybody else. And I was just like, I gotta have him. It's Alf. Like, grab him.
That Comic-Con one was nice. I almost picked it up while I was there. Again, just for the accessories, the camera, like the badge, the Hawaiian shirt, just fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But then, like, you know, those dinosaurs from the dinosaur show are starting to show up now. I've seen both the Earl and the baby.
I saw the baby.
I'm not gonna do it. I want to. I loved that show, and one of my mentors, who's no longer with us, he shot the first season of that series.
Oh wow!
And so yeah, but I'm slowing down on NECA. I'm, you know, maybe if I find them on sale, but like space, it's space, it's room, but they look great.
Like I won't lie, I saw the baby Sinclair the other day, and I'm like, oh, let me see how it looks, and it looks great. It does, but again, for me, it's price versus like what you get, and you do get a lot, but the baby's so tiny.
He's smaller than you think. Like when I pulled the flap back, I was like, damn, like he's
tiny. Like
he's got the high chair, he's got like the Timmy doll, he's got
so much with it. I get it. I get it. And like you said, if I can find it on sale or for a good price,
well, sure. They were both on sale when NECA had that 20% off, and I still was just like, I can't. I'm not. Yeah. I don't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah, same. So
that's my story.
What do we got? You doing McFarlane soups?
I am.
Oh man.
So look, I mean, I'll like.
I just did it. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. So, you know, we look at, and I have issues with this figure. I really do. I have issues with the skin tone. He looks very sickly and anemic. Like Superman isn't getting, you know, I don't know what, iron. But, right. But everything else, like everything about this figure, let me see if I can turn off this light because it's messing with, because his skin tone is so damn off. It's messing with everything. But like everything else about this figure, I know Romo hates like the drip. I get it. It doesn't bother me. But like the S on the on the cape, it's like everything about this figure is damn near perfect. I will get the next Superman that's coming out. The one that's the one that's kind of like the 1980s John Byrne.
The one that finally looks like Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like,
even though the belt and diaper is wrong, but
not on
that one you're talking about, Dave.
Yeah, I don't. And look, like, they can use like this belt, this diaper. I get it, but it's that so
Superman good. Just, I don't know. He went to the plastic surgeon and needed some Jay
His
Leno.
Hairline's waxed. His hands are huge.
He pumped himself full of synthol.
Right. Oh,
those are some pretty big hands. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's got cancer. His hands are bigger than his face.
And he skipped leg day.
You know, I won't lie. I never noticed that till you just now brought it up, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, shit, he has such huge hands.
Yeah, he's got some. He's holding a Virginia ham underneath.
That's why he made your list.
It's true. But no, like, look, this figure, especially paired with, I think, two more down the list, it looks, it really does. It's, but yeah, the skin tone. I actually passed on him the first time I saw him. I passed on him, like that skin tone is just what the shit. And then now it's like,
it is one of the better Superman bodies too, I'll say.
Well,
this is the body they should have used for the mullet Superman.
Yes. Well, and they've released a lot of Supermen that just look shitty, for lack of a better term.
So to get a decent one, you're thrilled, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's sad. Like the bar is so low that like the metal Superman looks like garbage, right? Now
Todd waiting behind a tree, like I can go lower.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I was like, how low is the bar? Like I can walk across it. But can you roll across? There was the metal Batman Superman looked horrible. That Justice League animated, I hate the way that he made those look with like the giant bodies and like the it was like a giant like turkey leg, like giant top, itty bitty little bottom. Looked bad.
I figured Bobby, I figured if we did a worst of the year, it would just be like an hour of bashing McFarland because even like, no, don't get me wrong. There's like a handful that you guys have pointed out that are really good figures and stuff, but like, yeah, there would have been a lot of bad.
You and I, Chad, what episode did we do? Was it the San Diego exclusive? And if I sound nasally, I'm sorry. It's the vid. I'm really nasally. We did an episode where where they did like the sketch. It was the blue and red Superman.
Oh yeah.
And I spent like 5 minutes just bashing that shitty, horrible
See,
figure.
Bobby does get angry. He can't be negative once a year. It's at Comic-Con.
That one was on this body too, right, Bobby?
What's up?
Was that one on this body?
Yes. But it was like the blue and red paint, or like that one. The sketch one looked like shit. The 2-pack with Ultraman looked like shit. Like why can't McFarlane get Superman? And now he finally does get it right. Great, and I'll get that one, and then you know what? I'm like, I got Superboy for $10, and the body looks great. The face looks like shit. It's like, why? But I like this figure. It's good.
Well, hey, look, I'll give you and Spec credit. You guys are unpredictable with your lists.
That was part of the hope.
Not only am I dissing Fabster, obviously it's Mezco, but me, I literally was like, I'm going to be that guy who's going to do 1, 2, 3, and just keep doing 1, 2, 3 of the 3 brands that I have. That's basically what I did. I was like, I'm just going to zigzag. That's it. So speaking of that, it's Evil Ryu, Jada Toys. What a surprise. Jada Toys. Nice. It's either going to be Mezco, Four Horsemen, or Jada Toys for me. But the reason I picked this one, it's a repaint of Ryu, of course, but you wouldn't know that from like how great they did the face scan with the face paint. I mean, the face paint, they just did such a great job that you wouldn't even really know, other than the body, that it's a repaint. But the real reason is throwing in little diorama accessories right away.
I love those.
Yeah.
Basically, like, this was kind of technically the 3rd release because most people hadn't had Chun-Li yet. Almost everyone, maybe like 2 or 3 YouTubers, people overseas had Chun-Li first. But to go repaint an exclusive on the 3rd figure was daring. And it was one of the best exclusives at Comic-Con. You know, like,
I think it was the best
really
exclusive,
fast.
to be honest.
What was that, Fab?
I think it was the best exclusive.
Okay, there you go. I mean, I'm partial to a couple of wrestling ones too, but yeah, this was definitely. I mean, it was better than like Call of Duty Ghosts or whatever. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
better than Hasbro. They didn't have anything. It was all ship after the con.
Yeah, for sure.
QR codes.
No. I debated about getting this one, and I didn't. And then when they put them up for re-release a week or 2 ago, I seriously debated about it again. And I didn't. Yeah. I don't regret not getting it, but it's a badass set.
They restocked, so that's another thing is you can't go, oh, exclusive Comic-Con. They restocked this thing twice, and it was like up for like several days. I mean, at least 3. I don't know if it was a week, but maybe like 3-4 days. They gave you a long time to get your pre-order in it, and you wouldn't get it ready. I guess the whole thing was if you're at the con, you'll have it for 3 months before the other people. But the other people got their shipped in October. So it's like, there's a pretty good turnaround. I think the handling of this exclusive was good. It's a great exclusive. It's Evil Ryu. You don't really need it unless Street Fighter 4 is like your favorite game ever. But I think they did an awesome job giving us the little, and actually the blasts are different molds. They're not the same. Like that one's like that.
They are different.
Yeah, they're both different, and they're both different than the one that comes with the 2 Ryu. Yep.
Because Ryu is more involved.
Yep. Perfect. I'm glad you showed that. But yeah, so I just think it was a fun exclusive. They took a risk and it paid off pretty well, and people love it. So it was good press to get. Like, I think it was good press getting the YouTubers, getting these in a lot of YouTubers' hands, like reviews, and kind of getting that Jada word out there. Was a lot of fun, and it was easy, easier to get than most exclusives at Comic-Con. So, all right, top 5 time. We're back in Fab's house.
Oh, hey. We okay, so as I was saying, my list is kind of split: top 5 licensed, top 5 Rumble Society.
Rumble time.
So it's all Rumble Society from now on. And this one, maybe a little bit of a controversial pick, given that it is kind of another second version of a character we've had before. But the first version we got was exclusive to the Advent calendar that they did. It just had like very minimal accessories. It was just, you know, a body with a reindeer jumpsuit on. He had like a Christmas theme going on. So this is our first actual like normal Cousin Eddie. He's the somehow even more chaotic cousin of the Pink Skulls. And what I think is fun about what they do with Rumble Society is find ways to like repurpose things already in the tooling library and like use it for something new or original in-house. So this was fun that they took like the John Wick dog that they've had the molds of for years now and turned it into a little pet for this Cousin Eddie.
Bella, you know?
I get some of the hats that were with the Pink Skulls, some real like gold chains with pendants, and
I was like, are those thumbtacks for a wrestling match? Those are gold chains.
Those are they're diamonds. He just comes with like a case with a grip of diamonds, and
crazy.
That's my favorite accessory from that set. I'd love to just get that, the Pelican case with the diamonds.
Yeah, and the Pelican case they've had, you know, in a few different releases. The knives have all, you know, pretty much the only new thing here really is like the Molotov cocktail and I think the assault rifle. But again, that's just a fun way to repurpose things that they've already got in the library and use it to give us something weird and new. Like he has 2 different shoes, which are the same shoes in different colors from Vapor. He's got very tight leather pants, so that's a little bit of a downside. You got to be, you know, a little careful. Like very, very skinny, very tight leather pants. Some David Lee Roth type of stuff here. So, you know, maybe, but that's kind of what's the fun about this guy too. He's got a lot of different outfit options. So if you did want to like swap pants to something else, then it's a great vehicle to do that. I love all the weird skull guys from Mezco, obviously. So Cousin Eddie, one of the weirdest, one of the sculliest.
Cool. All right. We're sculling in at number 5 here. Gargoyles action. We got a back-to-back NECA choice here, so go on in.
Spec.
So Gargoyles had to be represented in here somewhere. I don't have his wings on him right now. I have them right here. I had to pull them out of the cabinet. Hudson was voiced by Ed Asner. He was a phenomenal character. He sounded great. He's the old, grizzled, wise warrior. You know, lost an eye in battle.
Oh, he's the David Speck of Gargoyles.
Yes. You know, he comes with the big scimitar style blade. Like, the Gargoyles line has been a fantastic line. I've voiced my disappointment with it in terms of how NECA is doing the wings and making us buy the figures with the big wings that don't fit anywhere. And then if we want the folded cape wings, they keep packaging them with other figures. So it's like, oh, if you want the more manageable wings, you have to go buy that figure, that figure.
Yeah, you got to get the DLC that comes with the new release.
Exactly. So that aside, it is a solid line. They did release, so, you know, this year was Hudson and Brooklyn and Lexington and Broadway. So they did finish out the Gargoyles. Plus we got Xanatos in his armor, Xanatos in his suit, Elisa Maza, and the Steel Clan. And then we also got Goliath's daughter, Angela, which is the one that I'm not going to get. I got all the rest. I think I'm done with the line from here on out. I know that they're finally going to release like Macbeth and a couple other core, but I think I might call it and say I'm good with what I do have. But I mean, he's just the detail and the dry brushing and the dirtiness and the rips and the tears, and even on his wings compared to all the other Gargoyles wings, you know, he's got the holes in them and the weathering and the age.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. He was definitely like one of my favorites of the line. You know, I have no room to display them. He was on display for pretty much the entire year. Yeah, he's just rock solid.
No, he's a great figure. But the craziest figure, maybe of the whole list, is Bobby's number 5.
Let's go.
Look,
On the road again.
look, I even forgot that this got made. Let's get the hat off. I was at Target on Sunday picking up medicine when I thought I was just sick. Walked through the toy aisle, found Willie, and look, it was a no-brainer. One of the greatest living songwriters of all time, right here. And you know, being from Texas, it's fucking Willie Nelson. Like it was, I grabbed him and I sent a picture of my brother. I'm like, dude, look at this. My brother doesn't
How's
even
it not sold out? You found it in Texas,
Right.
I
Listen, just put him on the shelf.
Oh no, the boxes beat the fuck up. Like I think Target forgot they had him.
Yeah.
I checked the Target app and they're like sold out in Houston. Like I'm like, all right, they literally forgot that they had him back there and threw him up. Like NECA, look, NECA, like it's all soft goods. You know, the bandana comes off, the hat, the guitar, you know, trigger. I'll put my light back on because like the amount of detail they put in the trigger, his guitar, like the busted here, the fact that it goes, the strap goes underneath, like everything about this, like
yeah,
it's
sick.
great detail, and you know the fact that Willie gifted the guitar to his daughter so that the IRS wouldn't take it in the 80s. You know. And yeah, I've seen Willie at the rodeo. I want to go to his birthday barbecue one year. He just had his 90th birthday. It's you know, he's a living legend. He's just it's and whether you are into country or not, it's you say Willie Nelson, you're like, I know Willie Nelson.
Yeah. No, obviously. Well, I guess the best part is on the box. I love that he looks like a guest star on Sons of Anarchy or something like that. That's like the meanest looking Willie Nelson mug I've ever seen.
That's 1980s Willie right there. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And
I love what NECA does
Uncle Jesse and Dukes of Hazzard.
Like, look, the box, like, a wanted poster, like a stage. It's
what NECA does with the retro, like 8-inch kind of Mego doll style, you know, I think it allows them to take some risks because it's really minimal investment as far as really just the accessories, the head sculpts, and maybe the hands, but the bodies and the soft goods, you know, it's stuff that they've already got around, and it's nice to get some weird stuff like this, like Elton John, like I got the Bon Scott and the Angus Young from ACDC. Those are great, you know.
Like if you actually get down, just get down. Hold on, get down. Thank you. But like you look at his, like he actually is like holding like the guitar, like, and he actually, if you look,
like an accord,
yeah, he's got a pick, like he has a pick in his hand.
Angus Young does that too. It's a really great detail.
So you can like it's fantastic detail.
I wonder if they even got to reuse the pick hands. That would be brilliant, actually.
Right? Like everything about this figure is like. Willie is staying on my desk. Let's just put it that way. Willie.
Bobby. I'm the biggest fan of Bill Nelson there is.
Bobby likes playing with his Willie.
Well, guys, we're staying with crazy here at number 5 because my choice is the ghost of Bob Marley, Jacob Marley, Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. I don't know, guys. I'm not a literature freak. I'm not even a Christmas fan of really Christmas, except like, you know, just seeing family and friends and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. This one, I just was like, holy crap. I posted it. I'll admit it. I'll post it on social media. I hadn't pre-ordered it. I had just posted it when they announced it. And I saw the comments, and it was a bunch of people, like comic book people, pop culture people that were like, I need this. And I was like, well, if you need it, I'm a toy guy. I need it. but I have no regrets. It was a perfect, you know, gift to myself to open on Christmas, and, you know, it was in the Christmas spirit. And I just wish that chimney diorama came with it. You know, does come with a cool little diorama backside, the magnetic one that goes around the box. But yeah, all the chains. It's got one of the coolest. We talked about the clock.
The safe, though, my God.
The safe is probably behind the clock, maybe even better. I mean, with the chains and the keys and the books and everything, it's really cool. And I guess the one thing is it didn't come with a flight stand. That would be the only negative, because obviously if you look on the right, it's a ghost. But then again on the left, he's got the translucent legs and everything. But just a lot of fun in hand. Again, Bobby, we were talking about that. Just figures that feel great in hand. This is one of them. Yeah. I mean, even more so because he doesn't have the soft good that the other figure Obscura characters that I have. Toys that have, and it doesn't have it, but the quality of the plastic feels better than the other ones. And of course, this is their newest release, so looking forward, maybe we'll start getting that kind of quality. Not that the other figures don't have tremendous quality, but it just felt like a step up, and lot of fun. A lot of, like, the safe opens. There's actually hidden secrets in some of these things. It probably gave you a spoiler alert, but yeah, there's a lot. Open some of these little trinkets, and there's actually more accessories that it's pretty cool, man. And I haven't read like all the novel stuff, but I do want to give a shout out to Kyle Peterson, right? And Fabio knows Kyle, one of the best, YouTube. He's a YouTube king, but he did a unboxing of this with his dad, and his dad's a hardcore Charles Dickens fan, and gave like this whole synopsis of how great Charles Dickens is, and like where like then the Christmas Carol, and it's go see it right after this or tomorrow. Charles, he breaks it down. He does a cool review with his dad, and I guess he was saying it's his dad's retirement. I guess every once in a while he does reviews with his dad, but go check it out. It was really nice. It really made me feel even happier about this figure, and maybe got him higher on the list. Just kind of all the background on this character and all that kind of learning. We're learning with these figures and said, oh, it's Superman. We've seen 9,000 Superman, and we got more.
I always knew you were very Dickensian, Travis.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always pegged you as one of those big Dickens guys.
Yeah, there you go. You said that on the ACBA show too.
Yeah, and it went over well, so I thought I'd try it here.
Sure. Okay. All right, number 4. Speaking of big Dickens, it's FABSTER with this big Dickens guy.
Yeah. Well, sort of. This is a little like an old
Jackie Vaporoni.
This is my paisan over here.
Hey,
Jackie Vaporoni, the king of the block. Kind of a weird like detour from the Hoods line. We've had Vapor in a couple of different forms. This is not a Hoods figure, but a Hoodlums. And it's supposed to be kind of early, old-timey, turn-of-the-century Rumble City. And this is basically Industrial Revolution era Vapor. But it's supposed to be like his grandpappy, Jackie Vaporoni. He's got this this flocked mustache. The other Vapors have had flocked hair, and this one does too. But now they've taken it a step farther. You got a flocked mustache on him. Bunch of like old-timey tools, like a kick-the-can type of thing. You got like a wiffle ball bat. A lot of really great outfit options on him, and given that he's supposed to be kind of early, turn of the century, 1880s to like 1910s kind of look to him, there's some really great third-party like cowboy outfits for this guy that make him look like a saloon bartender in Red Dead Redemption or something. It's
nice.
There's a lot of this guy's a really great like vehicle for a lot of different looks and great kind of old era stuff. So creates this sort of new. It was weird at first, when we figured that they were doing some more Hood stuff. People wanted to see like a new character from the old Hoods line redone like Vapor was. So to do this weird detour into old timey territory is like, it was weird at first, but seeing how the community's like really embraced it and has put out so much cool stuff for this guy, he definitely jumped up quite a bit on the list. He's nice. Just fun, big fun factor on this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about our list today, because, we talk about all these popular toys over and over to death, that sometimes it doesn't become fun. It becomes work. It becomes a rat race. Like with these toys, it's just, these are actually like our toys, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like you're collecting Marvel, G.I. Joe, because it's the thing to do. It's a collection. And not that we don't love them, we don't play with them, but these are just like, why are we buying these? Because we're actually playing with them. Like we're
this is about
create more creativity with these toys today.
Right. This is toys for people who like toys for toys, you know,
Right.
not necessarily
Right.
as a
the
representation of
IP.
something in 3D
Right.
form that you enjoy. It's just
Right.
if you want just a fun figure, I mean, it doesn't get much more fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
I
that's been the
regret
most
not
fun.
getting this one.
Oh man, he's lovely, and he really did. He was a sleeper hit. You know, he's jumped up in price quite a bit.
Yep.
Nice.
I would love
Okay.
to find one, but I ain't paying $200 for him.
Mm.
That's the thing. The value of Mezco is always pretty
You
good.
might be Jackie Vaporoni list then.
Some shoot up and some kind of plateau and start coming back down. It's just, you never know.
Not too far down, you know.
With the sales,
a lot of that's
recently, like
none of that's all the license stuff. Any of the
that's licensed. I was just gonna say it's a lot of like Marvel. And, it's a lot of Marvel stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've seen the Cousin Eddie and Bella. Sometimes you can find a deal on those. The Pink Skulls, the Club Chaos, the one that I got, which I got for a steal of a deal. I've seen those come down now, so those have been coming down.
Oh, please tell me you just saw my comment, Kyle. I'm sorry, David.
We were just shouting you out, and there he is. Look at that.
Yeah, that happened to Bobby earlier. He shouted out K-Wish, and now I'm with KP over here.
Nice.
Dude, just gave you and your pops a shout out. Happy New Year and happy holidays to you guys for that amazing Ghost of Jacob Marley unboxing review. And then obviously it landed on my list. So what's up? Oh, cool. All right. Let's move on to our next choice.
So this Jackie Vaporoni is kind of like if Vapor is Kyle Peterson and Vaporoni was his dad, right? Doing toy reviews.
There you go.
That's where the relationship comes in.
All right, amazing. And now we have a spoiler. So here we go. It's Craig.
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
The name's Agent. Top Agent.
This was the last figure that I got for 2023. He came in the mail on the 30th. And I mean, he's just seeing him on
the guy from the movie though. Jesus.
Yeah, so
looks like a guy from a movie we've seen.
Yeah, these photos here do justice better than trying to see it on the computer screen. I did a couple photos that are up on my Instagram at Toy Optics, and I'm really happy with how they came out. And Muff Toys, aside from having such a wonderful name, I mean, it's great. I didn't get the deluxe version. The deluxe version actually has magnets in the feet that click to the stand. But this one, the Tux, there's a magnet in the jacket, so it snaps and holds it closed, which I thought.
Hey, that was your David. That was your shot, and then those are your shots right there, huh?
Those are my shots.
Go follow Toy Optics. Give this guy some love. This photography looks so. I mean, obviously you're a Hollywood camera guy, but that looks like something off the back of the box.
Thank you.
So I mean, go check it out, guys.
Yeah, I've become very a big fan of Muff Toys. I have the Batfleck head sculpt that they did for the Justice League Mezco Batman, and now I have this Daniel Craig, and I pre-ordered their Nightmare version of the Justice League Batman.
Yeah, that's the one to get.
And one of the things that they do, and I first noticed it with another third party, which I'm sure will show up at some point tonight, not on my list, unfortunately, but this amazing Felix the Clown, Heath Ledger Joker. These third party companies, it's a matte face, but they put this really wet, glossy paint on the eyes.
Yeah.
And so they stand out and they look more lifelike. And when you can see it on that one. And the close-up portrait that I took of him, I tried to highlight that too, is, you can get a nice little eye light in there to ping them, and it just brings life into them, and they just look so good. And it's the same with the Batfleck sculpt, like very matte and very Ben Affleck looking lower jaw, but then just the eyes deep set in that mask have this wet look to them, and if you can get the light in there just right, like they sing. It's yeah. And the articulation on him's great. A lot of different hand choices. He comes with the
body feel?
What's up?
How does that body feel?
Body feels really good. This butterfly joint's just a tad on the loosish side, but you know, for this, the suit obviously limits articulation to some degree, but he's got a pretty good range. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. I wish you can only do so much with the ankle. The ankle rocks back and forth a little bit. I wish that they were on rockers that could do more side to side.
Yes, just like a ball joint.
Yeah, I mean, if that. But and so unlike like the Felix Joker, which I think has real socks, this one is just molded socks. But they do other details, and they come with spare buttons because like my suit button already popped off. I do have it, but it comes with a little baggie that has spare buttons that you can glue back on.
That's amazing.
That's great because Mezco needed that with the Solomon Kane. A lot of people were getting vests without buttons on theirs. That's what I love about third-party companies too. They find really interesting ways to iterate on issues that people have had with like domestic lines. So the magnet for the suit closure is brilliant. Like I can think of 3 Gomez figures and maybe John Wick that could have used something like that in Mezco.
Right, it's brilliant. And then the cuff links on his shirt, like it's a real little pass-through cuff link. There's a direction thing that shows you how to try and use some tweezers to pull them out if you want. Yeah, I'd say my only complaint, and it's my same complaint with the Felix Joker, is that it's just a solid head and neck.
Oh yeah.
That's like Storm Collectibles does that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a lot of back and forth and side to side. I typically prefer separate, but man,
that just kind of sucks when it's like a suit because it's like high collar. Like a couple of the Joker has that, the clown does, but also one of the Joaquin Phoenix Jokers has that problem. The collar rides huge because it's a suit and it doesn't necessarily work with the head neck combo thing.
It does very well on this one. I know exactly what you're talking about because I do have that issue with him just a little bit. Like you constantly, I'm taking tweezers.
Oh yeah, because the hair's longer too.
Yeah, but God, this figure's just, he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun, and they nailed the likeness.
Dope.
So, really good.
Cool.
They got to get him from with the shirt and the white pants at the beginning of the movie. That'd be sick.
All right, someone holler at Pock Photos. We have a McFarlane choice here at number 4. Bobby, go on in. So was the blue one? I didn't know. When I Googled, it was 2 different.
All right, no,
I covered them both just in case. So there you go.
Good. I got
that's a nice one, man. That's that's one of the better McFarlane figures I've seen for sure.
Yeah, this so in July when we did like the top of 2023 so far, this one and the Ultimate Cap were my number 1 and 2, like coin toss. Like it could go either way. Which just shows how strong this year has been for action figures in general.
Absolutely.
And I love Hush. I've got 608 up there, signed by Loeb and Lee and Scott Williams. This, like the black one, I don't know what it was about it. I think maybe the paint job just, when I saw it, I'm like, no, I don't need it. This one, I've got the kryptonite ring on him right there. It's Jim Lee brought to life. It's like everything about this is like the cape. Look at the detail on the cape. It's
great detail.
It is great. Now, I will say that the 89, I do love the cloth cape on that one, but I don't, as much as I want cloth cape, as much as I say I want a cloth cape, you couldn't get this dynamic with a cloth cape. No,
it's true. Yeah.
So, now this figure, this one and my next figure that I'll have on my list are coin tosses. Thanks, Pac. Yeah, this figure, and this one I don't understand is, once again, like McFarland I think Pac's right. I think he hates Superman because he's got the skin tone perfectly on this figure. But look at that look at the black caped cowl Batman. That looks plastic. This looks like a suit. This actually looks muted.
When did that black cape one come out? Because
that one came out That came out this year too. They came
Did
out
they
like
both? Okay, because I put
Yeah.
2023 and they both came up, and I was
They
like,
both
I
came out.
put
One was
them
in a
both because you
two-pack,
didn't say
and-
blue or black.
One was in a 2-pack, and this one might be a different one, but the 2-pack one definitely had the arms all the way painted black up to the joint, and then even the disc between the two halves of the arm was black.
So yeah, Fab, you're on that. Two were like there was the one I have. There was the Hush 2-pack, and then this black and gray one. And the black and gray one came out, I think, like September this year. I saw it a few times, and I was like, no, I this is just ridiculous now. I don't know why. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and especially since I already had like this one. I found I was like this, like I found it, like this is mine. Like I saw him like maybe like once again, and I've never seen him again. It's fantastic, yeah.
For sure. All right, we promised Joe. Here it is, an actual GI Joe member.
Look at that.
Number 4. I'm not gonna lie, I just opened this thing, but it was good enough to throw way high on the list because I was surprised at how much fun I had with it. And it just maybe because it just took so long. The greatest thing was I did the PayPal in full like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was like a gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah, when you pay for things 2 years ago, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't feel like I paid for it at all. So yeah, it was fantastic. Shout out to Bees Battlegrounds. I know a lot of my other GI Joe reviewing friends have probably reviewed it, but that was the only one I had a minute to see. He did a great little breakdown on that, but yeah, it was really cool. So show this
double jointed elbows, which some of the earlier photos showed him with single. So by the time he actually came out, they had that improved on it.
So we got that in hand, got that really nice looking rifle, man.
Dude, that looks like a Roadblock from GI Joe.
It does. Can you believe that? Actually, you know what? I always thought, because I heard him say Terry Crews, but I like the straight face without, not this face right here, but the straight one reminded me of Evander Holyfield, actually, the boxer, legendary boxer. But I got one of those knee pads kind of on the wrong. I know it slipped over. But the one problem I had, and I don't know if you can see it, see the harness? And B's Battlegrounds, Bobby B had the same thing on the left side. He had to cut his video off, and he doesn't even edit his videos. I think it was his first time he had to edit. You know, so B's usually just does a full unboxing until he's done, and he's like, oh, damn it, that took longer than I thought. Yeah, so see, I pushed that thing in until Kingdom Come, and it just would not stay in. But, you know, if you kind of pose it right, you can cheat it. I'm sure over time I can get it in.
Like a peg not latched or something?
Yeah, see right on the right above the holster there. See it?
Oh, I gotcha.
Even this side, it's kind of like it's not flush, but it's not, you know, it's not as bad.
I got mine to go in. It took a little bit of work.
You gotta pose the clothing on these Mezcos too.
So the turret you actually put together, which was actually a lot of fun. You put it completely together. You know, the rifle itself, the gun is not, but the stand you put together. And I think it was fun watching B's review because he was in the military. So he was explaining what each and every little piece was. It was really cool. And then kind of, this is the backpack actually. So it's you can open it in the case and then and you can store the turret inside. And then you connect this harness, this secondary harness to this. And it's a lot of like little work, but it's a lot of fun. And the amount of options you get.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, as you see here in this photo, there's just so many different. I didn't even use the grenades yet, and those all clip onto some of the backpack harnesses. And there's different vests, different looks. Yeah, that face that he has there on the left, that kind of reminded me of Evander a little bit. And I can kind of see the Terry Crews in the middle, the laughing one. Yeah, that kind of definitely gives me Terry Crews vibes on that one. Obviously, his likeness looked like James Stewart. John Stewart, Green Lantern from Mezco too. But yeah, man, this was just an awesome figure. Obviously, the stand is awesome. If you're a GI Joe fan, who doesn't want that stand? So yeah, just a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah, I grabbed him too. I only have one complaint about him, and it's a very minor nitpick.
I have the same one. No apron.
No, that would be a chef's hat and an apron would be amazing.
Right?
I have a grill to go right with it.
Exactly.
It's the height. He's not tall enough. That's my only complaint is when you scale him with the Mezco Destro or even with
I hadn't done that since I just opened him. I hadn't done any scaling yet. Yeah.
Yeah, if he was as tall as the Amazon exclusive classic looking roadblock, he would be chef's kiss perfect. He's great as he is. He's a fantastic figure. I just wish that he was a little taller.
How do we feel about, all right, shout out first of all to Black Genghis. Happy New Year, KJ. KJ, by the way, we got Fabio here. KJ did an amazing special guest performance on your closeout show over at ACBA, and he was able to represent Black Genghis and represent not only a toy kind of mood, but welcome to the Terradrome, giving a lot of shouts to our custom focused GI Joe show that we do every once in a while, every month here on out. So that was cool. So shout out to him. But how do you feel about this question here, or not question, the statement, David?
I don't know what
the alternate skull, the ones right here.
I know, but I love them. Like, they're great. They're expressive.
I thought they were pretty good. Yeah, I mean,
somebody, it might have been KJ. Somebody called them like almost a step above the NECA Lothar from Defenders of the Earth. It might have been KJ that said that, but that was definitely.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at it right now, and I think it looks pretty good.
From what I've seen, they look okay. Maybe just a little like, I don't know, angular. Maybe he needs to be.
I mean, like,
yeah, that was you, KJ. I knew it.
I don't know. I like them.
Other than comparing them to like likenesses of celebrities, I don't have notes on those. But you know, Genghis is a god of the toys, so
maybe there's a little Ving Rhames in there too. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like either way, he's a great figure. Okay, so let's move on a little more briskly. We got our top three. Fabster.
Here we go. Speaking of GI Joe pastiches,
of course.
This was a really interesting, fun release. We kind of knew that this guy was coming for a while. Back when Mezco put out the first Hazard Squad Commander Gomez with the big like Hazard Squad set and everything, they put out a poll shortly afterwards to ask which next member of the Hazard Squad should be made, and this guy won by an overwhelming majority. And at the time, people were just like, oh man, this would be great if we got this guy, we could turn him into Snake Eyes. Finally, Mezco, Snake Eyes, right? And then like 2-3 months after the poll, they're like, all right, we got the GI Joe license. Everyone was like, all right. But at least we got this guy out of it. And he is Death Adder, sort of the snake, literally snake-headed Snake Eyes member of the Hazard Squad. And he's just a fun figure. He's built off of the blade body. So he's using a few different parts from that blade, like the boots, the hands, and a couple of the weapons. But other than that, he's just an all new, figure as far as the soft goods. And a lot of the harnesses and the different straps and stuff on him are like actual soft goods as well. They're like elastic bands around the legs. This is like an actual sort of leather pleather material for the harness there. You can gear him up with a bunch of grenades. He's got shotguns. He's got multiple different heads with different expressions, like the open mouth where you can actually plug the tongue in. This guy, for being kind of an all black figure, does a lot to really like make him stand out. Some of the weapons that are really unique to him, I think, are just super cool. It's nice to just build out that Hazard Squad with some more members. And Hazard Squad even has a full vehicle coming. They showed this Death Adder in the Rumbler vehicle at one of the Mezco cons as a reveal or a sneak preview with Commander Gomez driving it. So cool again that they're building out the Rumble Society Hazard Squad some more, to the point that we've gotten the lair for these guys, essentially, like their command center, and how the vehicle, which I'm sure people will be into for other lines, to have.
Right. I was just gonna jump in and say, there's a lot of, even throughout our Joe shows, there's a lot of love for that Mezco vehicle. And oh, Death Adder, right?
Yeah.
Very close to making an honorable mention. Do you think some of because once they announced Snake Eyes, it kind of that aura of him kind of died among the casuals, like not like Rumble Society fans like you, but maybe just people that collect Mezco third party like me, who are like, oh, I like that one because it's kind of a Cobra version of Snake Eyes, which you could use. You know, you could use them as like some kind of crazy, you know, Dr. Mindbender or Dr. Venom created him or something. But I initially was going to do that, and then the Classified, they just kept giving us figures every time. So I still put them with my Mezcos, even though originally my intent was to have them battle Snake Eyes as like this evil, you know, Cobra version, but which I might still do. But we just have so many G.I. Joe Classified figures. I was like, I'll just throw them with my Mezco stuff.
And even on that note, it's nice that even though he is a, you know, essentially G.I. Joe Snake Eyes pastiche, he's not exactly like that Snake Eyes figure. Like the Snake Eyes is actually going to use different hands, different boots, different gear altogether. Okay. So it's not even like, you know, you're just getting the Snake Eyes figure early. There's enough different going on that they're two very different figures.
Cool. We promised more Jada toys that weren't Street Fighter, and David Speck, your top 3 choice right now is a surprising one, along with the Alps and the Willie Nelsons and the Jacob Marleys of the world. This is another zany choice, and you got him in hand.
I got him in hand.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
I wasn't planning on buying him. I knew he existed. I knew he was coming. I thought he looked fun at the time. I was at the comic store and they happened to have one. And I was just like, he looks really fun. He looks, you know, and having played with your Ryu and knowing like, and owning some of the monster line Jada toys, like how good they are. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get him. And I got him, and I did a photo with him, which is again on my Instagram, that I thought was a fun photo. And he's just a fun figure, you know, for whatever he was, $20-$25. He comes with a little bag of Cheetos. He comes with a big Cheetos. He comes with interchangeable hands. You know, they have Cheeto dust on the fingers. He's got 2 heads. He's super posable, and he can hold his pose, and he can stand and balance well. He's just, who thought that they needed a Chester Cheetah action figure, right? Like, and just on that alone, he broke into the top 5, and you know, I'll probably try and do some more photos with him.
Yeah, you should, for sure.
Yeah, I won't lie. I actually got that for my dad for Christmas. My dad loves Cheetos. So in the box it came in, I put that, and my wife was like, you have to get Cheetos with it. So I went to HEB. I got like the 2 little bags of Cheetos and put it in the box with it. And yeah, I'm with Spec. Like I have it in my cart on Amazon to buy because I really want. I'm like, I'll get it for my dad. I don't need it. And then I held it. I'm like, mother, this is amazing.
It's really good. And then the box design was great. You know, all the content, they made it look like it was a Cheetos box. Yep. And like contents on the side with what, you know, comes with one action figure, one head, whatever. They made it look like nutritional info.
Yep.
You know, I ended up throwing the box away, but part of me just wanted to keep it just because of how neat that design of it was. It was just, yeah, you could tell. What am I going to put that shit? I keep boxes for certain exclusive stuff. The rest of it goes in the recycling. I don't have room.
You should just put that Cheetos into your pantry and see if anybody notices. Tries to go for a box of Cheetos. You're like, what is this, an action figure?
Yeah, well, my kids, Dad, what'd you need a Cheetos action figure for? I was like, you will see. Watch what I'm about to do with this. And they're like,
what a dad. What a dad.
You could get him with the old gotcha, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
He's freaking cool.
Yeah,
that's fun.
You have a very fun list.
It's really all the yellow dye number 3 that makes that figure so good.
But speaking of no fun, guess what? This is just the biggest surprise of them all. Here we go. Just here. Yeah. Another Batman figure, another McFarlane. I'm just messing with you, Bobby. No. Another McFarlane Batman figure back to back. It looks almost the same. Help me out here.
It looks nothing the same. Look.
Todd McFarland and another Batman. Name a more iconic duo.
It's true. It's true. Look, there are a lot of other figures I can have found here.
I'm just messing with you, but now I realize you're not sick anymore. You're yelling and all this stuff, so you're good. You're healthy. You're healthy again.
I can't hear myself, so I don't know my volume level. But this looks like it came off of like the 90s comic books. It really does. Like, and look, so here's Nightfall, right? I didn't do the like the $40 exclusive, like whatever. I found him, and I joked with Dave's story, you know, because look, they look like Jim Lee and you know, I think it's Jim.
There's a significant difference, except they're both Batman.
Except
they are different, yeah.
Right, and like when that new Superman comes out, I'll get him to put with this Nightfall Batman. But like everything about like the blue just pops. Like everything about it looks like it's like a great comic book. You know, and there's a ton of figures I could probably had in this, but like the cape looks great. The blue, like McFarlane did everything.
Here's the question I'll ask you: why was this above the other one on the list? Like, what is the difference? Like, what was the edge for the Nightfall?
Honestly, coin toss.
Hush. It was just like, Hush and Nightfall. Okay, I flipped a coin and Nightfall.
Pretty much. Just
nothing, not one thing. How about this Hawk Photos comment, the black and yellow Batman logo emblem?
It is. It like that emblem is so effing like.
Dude, that looks like a Batman emblem.
Like that, like that. The utility belt, like it looks like everything about it, like the face looks like everything about this is so crisp and clean that
it's a much more classic look than the Hush. The Hush is a great Batman, but the Nightfall Batman is more iconic.
This is like 80s, 90s, like what we grew up with. Like this is like superpowers.
This is the Batman I started reading. So that is where I'm going to give you the love is like, I actually started reading Batman in a freaking paperback book that I found at school or something. I was like, I'm doing this. And then it was like a red cover and it was him and Robin. And they were like, it was really dark and distraught. And I was like, whatever. I don't know. It was 9 or 10 or whatever. So I was like, I need this. And that was Batman. This was the Batman. Yeah.
And look, so like, I've got both Hushes. I've got Superman, Batman, right? When that next Superman comes out, I'll put him with this Nightfall because those are both like the iconic versions. And whenever Amazon figures are shit out and sends me my Wonder Woman, she'll go with in between like the two sets because she matches with both of them. But that Nightfall, like Pac's right, it's so it's a classic Batman. But I've got fuck, how many Batmans do I have? 5 now. 6. I got 6 Batmans.
And he came out with 6 yesterday, so that's not too bad.
I know. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I like unless I do like the Keaton version, like I don't need any of the movie Batman. I don't need the Batfleck's my favorite. Don't need them. I've got 89. Like I'm good. Like give me if they make an Adam West, fine. But other than that, like I've got my classy. I got my Hush. Like I'm.
Do you have the Batman? The Batman?
Which one?
The movie. The Batman. Battinson.
Fuck that shit. I pass on that shit.
So actually,
say how much you love Nirvana and Eyeliner.
So Fabster, I actually asked BBTS to cancel the Batman only because it just took way too long. Then I rewatched the movie on Christmas and I'm like, I shouldn't have canceled it because I actually thought the movie was still great. I love the movie. We don't have to sit here and talk about movies, but I just thought
I have the Mattel Creations Batmobile waiting for that Battinson Batman.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's get to another. Actually, before we go to the next number 3, number 1 figure of the year of Chaz the Guru, Jada Universal Monsters Frankenstein, a Ross score.
It came out last year though.
Yeah, but then they just
That's
hit. I got Frankenstein and the Bride at Ross a couple weeks ago.
Bobby, do you have the ASBAT?
I do not have the Azure High Batman. I haven't been able to find him.
Bobby needs to do the show in his Batman under.
That was one of the things that pissed me off about McFarlane, and one of the things that made it easy for me to quit them so many years ago was that Azrael Batman, the Nightfall Batman, was a Walmart exclusive, and you could never freaking get him.
The white one? The white one, right?
No, the actual blue, yellow.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I know. It's not Azrael. So Batman from Azrael.
Azrael as Batman.
Yeah.
In the Batman app. Like between that and the giant Bane, the mega figure Bane that like never hit store shelves and you couldn't find, and the Killing Joke Joker. Like
toy kind of fans, the Batman underwear.
That one. Like couldn't get that one. That one sold out like that. You got it for $5 from GameStop, didn't you?
I got it for free.
What?
So there was that one. There was the Killing Joke Joker that was another exclusive that like disappeared and orders got canceled and never fulfilled because I was supposed to get one of those. And then the Azrael Nightfall Batman that like good luck.
But Bobby, you shouldn't show that Bane because Dave was not having an easy time getting it, so you might make him jealous.
Well, I
don't get McFarlane anymore, so I'm over it. I kind of want the is it Medicom that's coming out with that 8-inch Bane? That looks sweet. I keep debating about whether I want that one or not.
Yeah, that's a nice classic Bane. Yeah.
8 inches.
Yeah.
All right.
No, the only reason I got this Bane, because one of my best friends, my co-best man, Trav at the wedding, he bought two. He's like, "Hey, do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it." He's all right. Happy birthday,
Bam.
Put it on your wedding registry.
Right? No, wedding registry. He went all out. He got me like my whole wine and champagne glass set.
Oh.
Right. Ooh. All right. Speaking of what gets us 8 inches, the nicest legs, those muscular legs, man, those are nutcrackers. But yeah, Chun-Li is my favorite. I haven't been able to get Ken because no one has, unless you live in like the Bay Area or something, and nobody.
We're out here. Frankenstein started getting a bunch of them early.
Yeah, of course they did. They sent every goon they have to every Target, and they grabbed them all. So don't get me started. Don't get me started. At least my team won the other day. So look, but Chun-Li, finally, just awesome that we got a great Chun-Li. $25, right? I mean that effect is perfect because she'll never fall over. She's leaning on the stand, but you can't really tell. It just looks great. Superposable, 2 great face scans. They only get the shouting one in these pictures, but the regular one is beautiful, gorgeous. She's definitely going to land top of the list for a lot of Jada Toys collectors. So nice Photoshop on the left. I don't know how you do that, but that a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah.
She's the only one I've actually seen on the shelf.
Oh, there's a lot of them now, but originally when it first dropped, I actually got this from Palmart as well through Amazon, and it was almost like just above retail. So that was like crazy. That I think I paid $30 instead of $25, but it had free shipping, so it was almost the same anyway. So for $5, I got it like months before it hit Target. So shout out to Palmart, supplying my Jada fix. So good stuff there. Number 2, this is one that Spec and myself are incredibly jealous of, Fab.
This is my I'd say probably my favorite character released this year because I've wanted something in this setting since the first figure came out. So Atticus Doom in his original trailer, which was another one of the Rumble Society characters, he's like a kind of a supernatural private detective type of thing. Basically Rumble Society's sorcerer supreme. And in that original trailer, they pit him up against this crazy goat guy who we come to know as Bartholomew Vex, just a kind of like Puritan era. You can tell by his I don't know, pilgrim shoes, just possessed demon goat guy, total like living embodiment of the Baphomet, and he's just a great figure with a lot of really cool spell effects, different head sculpts. One that has like his eyes closed and him like laughing maniacally. You can get him into the classic Baphomet as above so below pose. So that alone right there just cements him for sure. The effect on his head is magnetic too, so you can just pop that on and off if you want to show Travis. Look at that. I mean, that is just so much fun. There's another one that's like a starfish that blasts out of his face. I mean, this guy is just so cool. A little bit of soft goods on the bottom of the cape too. And this is what I like, just like spooky, crazy, demonic stuff as goes with the music I listen to also. And this is just a really fun character that goes along with probably my favorite Rumble Society character, which is that Atticus Doom, who's like a eldritch sorcerer. So it's just cool. Build out that world a little bit more, and the fact that the figure itself is just really good is also great.
Yeah. So we did a show. Bobby, you were on that show too, right? I remember. Was it the bet? Yeah, you were. The best figures that we didn't buy or whatever.
Yes.
It was all of us and Fab. This was almost like your pick. Your top 10 is like was on our. I feel like actually almost everyone here like has several picks of that, and then we're like, it was like the toys that we wish we bought or whatever, just because we're so deep into whatever lines. So yeah, I think this was like number 1 or number 2 on our right spec. We had this real high.
It was number 1 for y'all.
Yeah,
it was number 1. Yeah,
my bitterness over Mezco shipping costs prevented me from getting.
Yeah, it's like a figure is already 100, 120, then it's another 20, then another 10 because we're in California. So it just becomes, you're always going to pay extra, like 17, 18, I mean, $28.
What got me was I hadn't gotten my roadblock yet. And so I was like, well, what if I go on the wait list for roadblock? And I went through the thing and it was like, $14 for shipping or $16 for shipping. And then I did it with Bartholomew Vex, and they were both $95 figures.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $19 for shipping. And it was like, why? Like, why is there, what's the discrepancy? And I
wonder if that's factored into which shipping warehouse they do it from. Cause the one in Washington, I mean, this guy, I got the shipping notice on Monday and I had him in hand by a Wednesday. So when it ships out of the Fife, Washington warehouse, we're lucky because we get it quick, but I wonder if that's why it's more.
Maybe, but either way, I should have got him. If I can find him for a decent price, I might pick him up. But
go ahead, Spec. So we'll stay with you right here with your number 2, another Mezco figure. This is amazing. This one, I guess I didn't get a chance to really dig into the story, but this is a tremendous look.
And another thing is I think Bartholomew Vex would be a perfect foil for this character for some photography.
Often by Gaslight, baby.
You got the Joker for that one?
I don't have the Joker for this one. I had the trade paperback when I was in high school, whenever it was. It was a great story. I read it. It's a fun cartoon. I think it's on HBO if you want to watch it. I didn't pre-order the figure. I had always gone back and looked at photos and was like, that's pretty cool. Oh, I don't know if I want it. And then I found one for a really good price on Mercari, and he made a deal. And between the fact that I had a coupon on Mercari for $20 off,
in credit,
plus whatever.
That's how I buy almost all my lists. Like all my figure Obscura was I had a coupon, had credit, and made a deal. And I was like, at the end of the day, I'm not paying anything. So
with the coupon, I basically got him for the same or a little bit cheaper than if I had just ordered him from Mezco. So
nice.
I don't feel like I lost out, but like incredible soft goods, fantastic detail. I like the head sculpt. I know some people have issues with the head sculpt. He also has an unmasked Bruce Wayne head, and then
with crazy sideburns.
And then like you can see in the photo, you take off the cape, and he's got the sort of Da Vinci style glider wings, which are they're on a ball joint, so they can pivot pretty nicely and they can collapse and expand. The batarangs kind of remind me of like the Predator disc. You know, he's got one hand that the fingers can kind of go in them. He's a gorgeous figure. He's solid. If I had any sort of complaint, because of the fabric in the suit, it's a little hard to get his arms higher than this. You know, you can, but it's a little tight. But I don't know. There's a lot of potential. I'm excited to see what I can do with him, with some photographs later on if I get some time. But it's just a gorgeous sculpt. Just
that's great choice. That's very good choice. I'd probably, if I didn't already have more Batman than Bobby, because I do probably. So that's why I'm picking on you, because I have
Mezco's up there with
a lot of Mezco Batman
doing Batmans. I mean, Mezco's got a lot of Batmans for sure, and they're surely like all bangers.
Yeah, I have 3 Mezco Batman because I have the Batfleck one, and then I got rid of a lot of my McFarland, but I do still have some of the McFarland. I have the is it the metal? It's the Bruce, the Batman, and the
Dark Knight's metal. Dark Knight's metal, yeah.
Dark Knight's metal, and then
I had all those at one time, but got rid of them during the pandemic when I just had too much stuff. But all right, Bobby, you're moving away from the DCU, and you're hitting the Marvel. This is our first Medicom, first Medicom choice. Mafex. Here we go. Which one was it again? Which Cyclops?
So the one I have is X Factor.
I'm glad. Once again, I put both up just in case, and I had them covered. But
so look, I have never gotten Mafex before. I actually got my first one for Christmas this year, which will be number 1. But I have been looking on Macari because I do want that Jim Lee Cyclops. However, he is going for insane money right now. Like insane, like $200 to $250. I was able to get him because I had credit. I got him for $5.
Damn.
Yeah. So he was going for he's going up there for 80, 90, but one guy had him for 60, and I'm like, all right, look, I've got, I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. But I've got, just had all his, here they are. He comes with 3 different heads, 2 different blasters, folded, skull cap. This figure is just insane posability. It's just, it's incredible. And Cyclops is my favorite X-Men. Because growing up as a kid with, because I used to wear glasses for LASIK, I always had to so I always kind of associate with Cyclops, and the blues on this just pop so pretty.
It is nice.
So, I have 0 regrets getting, the X Factor Cyclops.
I like that pose. You got it right there. That looks sweet, man. That's
it's just I love the smoke coming off, and it's it's see through, so it's just love Cyclops.
Good one. All right,
really
what do we got? I think we're at our number 2. Next number 2. Oh, here we go.
I think you're next.
Yeah, you're number 2.
Yes, sir. All right.
Man.
This should have been number 2 for Fabio, but he's a coward and sticks to Mezco. Calling him out on this.
I'm nothing if not predictable.
Yeah, right. No, you're wonderful. But I got this bad boy in hand. And this was actually, I have this because of you, Fab, because this was a recommendation from you. And once I got the red mask, you can never buy one figure from a line. Of course, I end up getting. I had the Headless Horseman on pre-order. It took forever, and then I got the red mask quickly from Four Horsemen. then Jacob Marley quickly again, and I said, you know what? I don't have Krampus and Father Christmas. I mean, maybe one of those will be ones I probably buy at a convention or something. Like I don't care for that stuff too much. But the good thing about this line is you don't need them all. But now I'm like, well, I have 4 of the 6, so should I just get the other 2? But
Travis hates Christmas.
Yeah, Moody hates. So the biggest problem, probably preventing him from being number 1, was it took 20 minutes to jam this freaking tail of his ass. But it worked. Yeah, now it's good because I wonder if it'll fall. Like, no, I guess I have it because forever I was trying to articulate the tail and it kept falling. But no,
you got a lot of great interchangeable parts too. Like
interchangeable. So you could take the necklace off, you take the soft goods off. He's got different. Obviously, let's take a look at this image that we got here. So you could see on the right, see how he doesn't have the soft goods over himself, and he's got the stern face. Now that's those 2 painted face. So each head sculpt has a painted and a non-painted version. As you can see here, this is the non-painted, and then
they're face plates basically. They just clip onto the actual head, which is a nice way to do that. Well, actually, it's 2 heads because one of them has the headdress. So yeah, it's 2 heads with 4 face plates.
Yep. That's exactly it. Yeah. So. Yeah, I just dig it, man. It's awesome. And again, it's kind of like, why do we have these figures? And then you kind of learn about the characters. You know what I mean? So Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, is the historical, figure in Chinese lore, Mandolin lore. So, it's pretty awesome. So that's that. So how come? Yeah, so he couldn't break your top 10 in Mezco though, huh? Even though you loved him. You sold your red mask? Did you sell this guy?
He's around, but it's one of those things where there was just a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, but yeah, this thing is just one of those figures you have in here, and even if you have nothing to do with this character or nothing to do with the line, you're just amazed. If you love toys, you're amazed.
It's a great one-off piece, and there was a lot of Sun Wukong figures this year too, from a couple of different third-party companies as well.
Absolutely. All right. Now we got number 1 time, and it's all you, Fab. This was a mega number 1.
Oh yeah, this had to be number 1 from the moment it was shown. It took a while to get it. There was another version at Comic-Con that came without the suit, but what we're really here for is the suit. I mean, the Void Cadet Gomez and Vortex Strike suit. This is a testament to Mezco's arrogance. Is what it is. this crazy giant mech suit that can fit a full 112.
Oh my goodness!
It's got lights, it's got sounds, it's got weapons and effects, and these big ass antenna that I don't have in right now. But this is a fully articulated mech suit with a fully articulated figure inside of it.
My God. That is insane.
In a calendar year before, we had a failed HasLab for it being too expensive and not coming with enough features. Mezco's like, how about it's bigger, it's got more features, and it's not a crowdfund, said Mezco. And they're like, here it is. It's just out. You want to pay for it? There it is. It's here. It's just a giant. Look at how big it is. It's bigger than my whole head.
It's kind of like a giant, if like Metroid met Titanfall or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's got a Metroid aesthetic, but it's a massive, obviously.
I could see that. I like that. Yeah, it's got a lot of a scalloping to it. It has a whole sticker sheet too. So if you wanted to customize your mech suit, it's.
Would this be considered a Jaeger?
It's a little small for a Jaeger, but either way, it's obscene. Look at this thing. Yeah. This is just so cool. I'm not posing it up too much right now because it has a lot of ratchets in it. And then that also includes a great Gomez figure inside, that Void Cadet Gomez.
With a lightsaber, a zip saber.
Yeah, he's got a real working lightsaber.
A light up zip saber.
Yeah. The backpack or this jetpack is magnetic to his vest, and just a lot of different interchangeable looks on just the Gomez himself. Like if you want him with that mask that you showed, there's also a kind of a bubble helmet, like an old-timey retro futuristic space helmet kind of look.
You can see if you look at the cadet on the Void Cadet on the left and right side, how the different obvious. Yeah, it's a little
I
subtle.
mean, yeah, a whole lightsaber too. I mean, it's really cool, and there's more to come with this whole Void Wars program and seeing how the lore of the different Mezco things within the Rumble Society kind of tie in with that. Came with a comic book and everything, so this was just a really good release in a year where there wasn't as much individual Rumble Society releases. The ones that we did get were like just incredible. And this is insane.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting for that Sith Lord Gomez that they teased.
Oh yeah, that's basically this guy, but with a red lightsaber, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's no reason it even needs sounds again, like the chainsaw, but
it's fun.
It's making sounds.
Yeah, it's fun. It's something that big that lights up should make some
different light settings too. You can just have it only the console, like the cockpit here, turned on, and then you can just have these off, turn them both on. I mean, this is as a display piece in whatever room you display it in, it would dominate every conversation.
Right. There's no one's gonna be mad at you for making that your number one.
No,
that's for sure. That is a number one choice.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but guess what? We have a number one choice. That is G.I. Joe, you freaks in the chat room.
Is it?
And we mentioned this character before, but we wanted to save the number one reveal. Mr. Speck, take it away.
Oh my God.
I was not going to get G.I. Joe Mezco because I already have the money invested in the classified. Right. And I just kept seeing the people posting their photos of this guy. And Destro has always been one of my favorite characters, Destro and Zartan. And I just, between the smiling face sculpt and all the interchangeable hands and all the accessories, and I just couldn't say no. And there was a guy.
Actually, Spec, I'm going to jump in. Talk about that angular face sculpt. So to me, I showed the smiling one earlier just because it was so off kilter, off character, just Mezcified. But this one, this angular face is probably the best one in my opinion. What do you think? How do you feel about this one? This one is really good.
This one's it's kind of like a throwback.
We have a comment. Look, not my Destro.
That face is off, not my best.
I don't know. I think it brings something different. If it's, see the face on the left, if you use that, it just looks like classified. It doesn't look any different than your stand, because that's the retro face, right? It's the one we know, but bringing these other two faces makes it a Mezco Destro, because otherwise, why buy $100 figure when you could buy $25 one, right, for classified? Yeah. So this, I just like.
I think the angular face, it's definitely more of like a throwback to the original card art.
Yes.
From the figure and the toy as well. If you really look at like
for sure. No, absolutely. The OG.
And kind of gives it that metal mask look. And then the other two head sculpts are kind of more in line with the cartoon because, we had a cartoon character in a metal mask, except his lips moved and he was very expressive, just like this one is with the green eyes and the toothy smile. And he's, if you put him up, when I look at the classified version now, the classified version looks anemic to me. He's a big beefy figure. He's a bigger figure. Destro was always kind of a bigger guy. He just fits. Like, this is my mind's eye version of who and what Destro is.
Man, he's really showing off that titty meat, huh?
Oh yeah. Look at how tight his pants are. He's just saying, here you go, world.
That neckline is plunging.
I think in the concept art that they had, the neckline went down even further. Or no, it's the Super 7 kind of false cartoon where the neckline basically goes all the way down into the pants.
Yeah.
You get some belly button action going too.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I love it. I love the the wrist rockets and I'm not typically one.
The wrist rockets are dope. That's a nice change.
Yeah, and a little flip up computer on the other side.
Flip up computer. Yeah. The gun that comes apart and can be rebuilt into a larger gun.
That one was kind of wonky. Yeah, I would say it didn't quite do it for me.
I thought that one was kind of neat. I haven't done much with it. The briefcase is a nice little touch. The light up feature on it.
Yeah, except
Not
it broke.
wood. Mine didn't
Mine
break,
broke.
thankfully.
Lucky.
I didn't break, so I'm with you.
But yeah, I mean, he's
Fuck you all.
a solid figure. He's a figure that I've had for, I don't remember when he came out. I've had him for a while now. He's been on my
February or March or something. Yeah.
So he replaced the classified Destros on my display, and he
Oh
mixes.
wow, you mix and match, huh? I still got this with my Mezco display.
No, the Joes, like they blend in nicely. They
Well, we got Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Firefly coming out, and I'm sure and Duke and many more. I'm gonna just do a Mezco Joe display.
Yeah.
So we got too many classified. I mean, we got 3 Destros already, right? 3 or 4 of them. So yeah. So with if you include the retro card, so
would you get a Pimp Daddy Destro in Mezco?
Maybe. Depends on, I mean, having a cloth Puma leopard cape would be a lot better than the big chunky plastic one.
Yeah.
But I want the Grenadier Destro. That's what I want. So if
but this brings me up to a point. All right, guys in the chat watching the show, which G.I. Joe character do you want to see Mezco do? I think it's now with Fabio talking about the new female body buck, we got to get like Scarlet or something.
Yeah.
We've got, I think Baroness there's so many Baronesses in damn classified line. I mean, I guess now we're getting as many Scarlets with the retro card, so I guess it doesn't matter, but they're not going to go deep into the lore yet. They're going to start off with a puppet. So I think Scarlet's a good one, but then they just did Duke, so maybe it is going to be Baroness. They go back and forth.
I think Mezco's in a position where they can touch on some of the characters that maybe others haven't touched yet. Like, how are we this many classified figures in? There's still not a damn Joseph. Come on. The line's called G.I. Joe. Why is there no Joseph in the line?
Joe Colton.
I don't care what his last name is. I want Joseph from the nativity scene.
Jojo
in the
Joseph.
line.
Jojo Joseph.
Yeah, one of those.
We're getting Triple J. He's coming.
And he better have been drafted by the GI Bill.
All right, so that was number 1. We got to move along. We're coming on 3 hours. So next number 1 pick, Bobby. It's your number 1 is in the TCU, but this is a good one. This is a good one.
Caked up Nightwing.
Medicom. Mayfix.
Look, this Mayfix. Sorry, this is the one I got for Christmas for my folks.
Show us that cake. Show us that cake. He's on a whole bakery back there. Oh boy. See that? You see those fabric seams in between the cheeks? They're screaming.
There you go, Fabster.
Oh, they caked up.
Look, like
that's a terrific figure.
Yeah,
I mean the fact that it's his schema sticks have the wire. Now you can move the back because the backing has where his sticks go. His hands have it. Like you can do like his spinning, like cockiness. They've got that hand. There's a lot you can do with these Mayfix, and honestly, honestly, like this he is. It's so good that I don't know which pose to have him in. So right now I'm just kind of like in a running, like throwing his stick out.
Yeah, that's a great pose, dude.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Bobby and then likes to stick out.
You know, it happens. You know, and Dick can never keep his stick in his pants, especially when Barbara's around. No, look,
I think I know what you mean by that.
Exactly. Look, whereas Fabster is like fully on Mayfix, I could easily go 100% on.
You mean he's fully on Mezco and you're on Mayfix?
Yeah, he's on Mezco. I could 100% easily go Mayfix, and honestly, I do want the Batman Superman Hush. They're crazy hard to find. Take half my figures and give me those 2. The posability, the detail on the faces, like everything, they're just perfect figures. Granted, no soft goods. I mean, the Batman. You have Batman Hush, right, Trav?
Snuggie Batman.
I do have the Batman Hush and I have the
like the cape is it's they're just fantastic figures. So yeah, like when it came to my top 10, I'm like, oh, like, and especially like the way that Tom Taylor's writing Nightwing right now, and Nightwing and Titans, it's the year of Nightwing, and that was my 100% one and one figure.
Cool. Well, before I move on to my number one, because we have to really build up the drama, right? No, I'm kidding. But we got a quick question for Spec. What was your favorite Ross score? We have some people talking about we should have done a top 10 Ross. I never even bought anything from Ross.
Oh, Spec and I were both. I bought some badass shit from Ross.
Dude,
but most of it would be like Hasbro stuff, so that's why we're not doing it today. But
it was pretty much all Hasbro stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't do the Hasbro stuff. But what was your favorite score? Go ahead.
Fuck, I don't know.
Chester Cheetah for 50 cents.
Like, I got crazy amounts of Transformers from them.
There you go. Witcher Ice Giant.
Did you see somebody in one of the toy groups like brought, I guess, their His Tank ASLab to a Ross? They're like, oh my god, I can't believe what I just found.
Yeah, they brought the box. They just brought an empty box.
Ross going crazy this year. Ross is saving Christmas.
How do you bring an empty? They must work security at Ross.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like, how do you? I don't know. How do you bring a giant head? Anyway, all right. Number one is Mezco Superman Man of Steel.
Crab dog.
Number 8 on number 8 on Fabster's list, but I've been dying for a Man of Steel Superman. I've been dying for a Superman in general that really just represents Superman in general, and especially this is the John Byrne classic comic, and we were talking about that Nightfall Batman, and that's kind of what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting here with this Superman. This is the early 90s classic, late 80s, early 90s classic Superman, Man of Steel, and just the multiple. I mean, I think this one comes with 8 to 10 different heads.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention too the light up feature on the eyes on one of the heads. Crazy.
Light up feature on the eyes. Obviously in the picture we used for your choice, it was like let's see if I can pull that up. But it was like we had the starfish on the face or whatever like that.
Oh, so the separate starfish for the Starro starfish. You can put that on anybody.
Yeah, but I just being able to do whatever you want with this. I mean, I don't care. The pajamas is perfect for me because it's classic and it's real clean, and just the soft goods. Obviously, all the different accessories, and I love the tins. So obviously, I love the Wolverine Mezco that came with that tin, kind of like a lunch pail. Kind of thing. So I'm a big fan of that instead of just getting a box. So just that makes it, because it makes it like, hey, you're getting something special here.
Yeah, deluxe.
It's a deluxe, and just it's worth every penny for sure. They're still available, I think, at BBTS. So to me,
another one that people were finding on pretty good clearance.
What's that?
This is another one that people were finding on clearance, like Black Friday. People were finding good deals on this guy.
This was on clearance. Oh my god! But I couldn't wait that long, man. This was like
absolutely not.
I got this one a few months ago from Sure Thing Toys. There was like a 20% off coupon, and it worked on the Mezco or whatever. So I got him for $20 or $100 or $90, and then ship tax whatever. Yeah, he's one that you could find some deals on.
Yeah, we got some. Oh, you put in all the ones you got from Ross. So you got Transformers.
Yeah, I just got so much shit. Like maybe Ray's lightsaber because of that. I don't know. Like
Viper 3-packs.
Never found
all
those.
The Target exclusives.
I found them once. I only found them once.
Cool.
I found the Tonkinator, the yellow Devastator, the Tonkinator set. I found that. I found most of the Transformers I wrapped and gave to my kid for Hanukkah.
I think we should do like a clearance find show, but we're at almost 3 hours of our top 10, and we have top threes and categories, and we're gonna blow through this. This is gonna be lightning round, so everyone can go. And I need sleep desperately. I have not slept since before New Year's Eve. Slept like 3 to 4 hours a night, and so I gotta go. Bobby's gotta go. We all gotta go. We're probably all going to go to the bathroom. That's for sure. So, but let's kind of want to just summarize what everyone's top three was in the brand. So we'll fly by and let's take off. So quickly, Fab and I both had similar top threes for Four Horsemen. It was a great year for Four Horsemen, especially figure Obscura. Obviously, before it was Krampus and Father Christmas. And we're like, okay, there's 2 Christmas one-offs. And now, I mean, just looking at the 3 you see there, we showed a lot of these in hand. I didn't get the Headless Horseman on that because it was a repaint, but otherwise, awesome stuff. Just quickly talk about that War for Aetherblade 2-pack from Mythic Legions. Fab.
Yeah, the Kickstarter that they did a few years ago for like a tactics video game they're doing for Mythic Legions. There were some like Kickstarter exclusive add-ons of new figures that you could get for Mythic Legions as well. So this was one of them, and it's basically redos of some early figures in the Mythic Legions line and just like completely upgraded. So you have Attila Leosier, I want to say, and Gorgo Aetherblade, who are kind of like the respective big good, big bad guys of that storyline. Comes with a lot of stuff specific to their factions. They're each leaders of like 2 factions. So there's a lot of other characters in the line that are kind of, made to go with them too. It's the first like painted Aetherblade. So I think as a, sort of one-off entry-level Mythic Legions release, like specifically Mythic Legions, you get a sweet ass like golden paladin with a giant like
it's
lion
so great.
hammer.
Yeah, when I was looking up the pictures for this, I was like, oh crap, am I gonna get into Mythic Legions? Because this is one of those things that fits right with that Demistros and stuff.
Exactly. Right and the Gorgo Aetherblade with the titular Aetherblade and a giant like battle axe too, each with like big faction shields. A lot of like new parts for these guys. For sure. So good to have them,
Cool. Yep. So you had Mask of Red Death 1, Sun, and I had him at 3. You had Sun Wukong at 2. I had him at 1, and I had the Jacob Marley at 3, and you had the War of the Blade. And then who's this now? Is this Bobby? Go fly. You already did this. You already talked about it. These are your These
are my top 3.
That's it. They were top 3 in your top 10, and they were just kind of showing everybody what it was.
Yeah. Fantastic.
This already landed on Specs list. You already had the Chester Cheetah at 3, Ryu at 2, Chun-Li at 1. I also, of course, had 3 Jada in my top 10. So Chun-Li was number 1, Evil Ryu 2, 3 Fei Long. And then Mattel MOTU Spec already talked about all these, I believe, except for Web Store. But if you can talk about it in 4 seconds, that's cool. If not,
Too Bad had him as a kid. Big beefy figure, really awesome. Web Store never had as a kid. Wasn't gonna get him. Then I saw K-Wish when he bought him, and just like the iridescent eyes and that popping blue, just like he's a very striking figure.
Awesome. Cool. We got that. And then MOTU for Bobby. We already went over this, except we didn't go over He Skeletor. Want to talk about that for a second or two?
Real quick, that's the Mattel Creations real quick, Friday drop. And it's beautiful. I have it all in its packaging. It's still just absolutely stunning.
It's really dope. It's a really cool concept. So you had
looks like He-Man, but in Skeletor colors.
Yep. So Spec had.
It's from
go ahead. Sorry, Bobby.
It's from the Crisis. They did a Crisis multiverse. Yeah.
Nothing gets past me.
So you had Manny Faces Stratos number 1, 2 Too Bad, Webster 3. Bobby had Motherboard at 1, 2 Ram Man, 3 Origins, and then Fab. This was already on your list, so we can kind of move on. We already. It's.
I forgot to mention the Bartholomew Vex has a crazy alternate head where he's like a.
Well, that's why I put that picture there because it gave you a little bit of a different look. So, but yeah, obviously, if you were just watching, you had the Void number 1, Bartholomew Vex 2, Death out of 3, and then the Spec and I shared the same Mezco figures for the most part. Spec Roadblock 3, we already talked about it. 2 Gas Lamp, 1 Destro, where I had Destro at 3, kind of just in reverse. I had Roadblock at 2, and obviously Man of Steel at 3.
All great picks.
And then Spec, already talked about his Alf, already talked about Mirage. And then you had Mikey the Wanderer, but then on here, but then you mentioned Splinter. He wasn't on your top 10, but you had Splinter. You want to just say something about that real quick?
Mikey the Wanderer is a slash with the Eastman 4-pack because they're kind of in the same style. And then the Splinter, he's just a great character. He's small. He looks, I don't know, he looks like a Master Splinter.
He looks like Master Splinter.
Yeah, they can fit in with a lot of other lines.
He looks like Master Splinter.
He looks like he's great. He's great articulation, stands well. Like a lot of Splinters sometimes have trouble standing up because of the size and the tail and everything. This one was a knockout of the park.
Nice. Okay, and then you didn't get to talk about this, so Fab, if you want to speed through your demon heroes over here, we'll move on.
So this is my my top Super 7 picks. I got a little bit more into Super 7 this year via some of like the heavy metal stuff that they do. I do have like a pretty decent reaction collection, but I do, obviously prefer the more articulated stuff. So Ultimates, I think, had a really good year with the music license. So my number 1 pick was definitely a very late entry in the game. Actually, number 1 and 2 are both late entries, but the Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead, kind of early 80s era Motorhead.
Awesome.
Really good, like vac metal on the sunglasses there. A couple of different alternate heads. One that he's got his like hair kind of thrown back so he can pull the neck up a little bit more because he sings like up into his microphone instead of like straight. So he has hair kind of pulled more back so that he can get his head higher to get that pose. Nice soft good shirt here as well. And I put the Cliff Burton at number 2 also because they're actually built off of a lot of the same parts. It's the same like legs, for example, with the torso overlay being different on the Cliff Burton to give him that like misfit shirt and the jacket and stuff. So they're very similar figures, both, bassists in the early 80s heavy metal scene or just metal hard rock.
And this was a big year for Godzilla. You threw that on your list too.
Yeah, I had to get that Godzilla on there too because
this is from the comic.
Super 7's been doing a lot of really great Godzillas and more coming out with like that -1 that they've shown that looks amazing. But they've gone pretty deep into the line to the point that we're getting these crazy repaints. So I had the San Diego Comic-Con Godzilla King of the Monsters based on a Dark Horse comic with cover art by Art Adams, and I had to throw this on my top as well because I was at Comic-Con and I got Art Adams to sign the slipcover as well.
That's cool.
My friend Kyle, who's at Super 7, is the designer on it, so I got him to sign the inside of it. And I have a weird soft spot for like a green Godzilla, not necessarily like the screen accurate, kind of dark black, charcoaly green. Green Godzilla is where it's at for me. Maybe it's because I grew up playing Rampage on NC.
Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, I do like a green Godzilla and with all the blood on him and stuff. It's just cool.
Yeah. No, it's dope. All right, and you didn't talk about this, but 5 seconds.
I got lucky. I got these when they went on sale, and then Walmart had that weird glitch, so I got 3 of them for free.
Nice.
I haven't.
Wow, that's crazy.
They look. The paint style versus just the more plain release. They're just solid figures.
That was amazing.
I know the boxes are cool, and lining them all up must be really cool too. So
yeah, well, they're still in white mailer boxes. So
gotcha. All right, and then we already talked about this stuff, and then so that.
I had to get some.
2 in your 1, and then the final slide we have of the day is random third-party stuff from Fabster. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty into the third-party scene. Obviously, my preferred form factor is a lot of like the soft good stuff, and I think third-party has like really exploded with all that this year. So there were some good releases. On the number 3 is the BMS V Toys Return of the King. Now, these are, again, third-party figures, quote-unquote bootleg, so they're not licensed, so they go with these crazy names. So instead of Kingdom Come Superman, we have Return of the King. And really good, like we were saying with the Top Toys, or the Top Agent 007 figure, it's interesting to see how these third-party companies kind of iterate on the same form factor a little bit differently. So the way that they handled The belt is like an actual fabric belt instead of like a plastic. Like that are interesting to see. And if you're into like, you know, if you want a Kingdom Come Superman, it's probably one of the best options out there. Same with the Heath Ledger Joker, the Felix Toys, the Clown that Dave Speck mentioned earlier. This is, again, just a great, amazing figure. Really good likeness to Heath Ledger. It does that thing he was saying with the gloss on the eyes versus like the matte for the skin tone. And it even has, I don't have it on him, but it even has Velcro on the inside of the jacket so you can attach like all the grenades and stuff from that scene in Dark Knight.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can take off all the different layers on him, so you can just have him without the jacket in like the police station look when he gets captured. So
and who's this Skull Sergeant? Because he looks like he fits right in Mezco. And then we'll
he basically this is probably the closest to like an actual bootleg on the list here. It's the DLZ Toys Skull Sergeant. I actually did a review of this guy on my channel here on YouTube at Fabster360, and it's basically Black Skull's Death Brigade at home. You know, in terms of it is built off of a Mezco Gomez / Black Skull / Pink Skull, you know, that super articulated body that they have. Even has Mezco like reproduction hands, you know, like these are actual, you know, made off the same mold and everything, but it's an all new figure necessarily. It's not a 1-to-1 remake of those Black Skulls. It's kind of its own figure. Even uses a third party file from 3D Gear, Figure Gear 3D from a few years ago that was somehow floating around, and they made this vest for it. Some good weapon options for him too, and it even has like a Spec Ops sort of helmet. So this is a great army builder if you just want like
I was gonna say he fits in a lot of. I'm sure a lot of GI Joe collectors would be like,
oh yeah, especially if you want just maybe even like Cobra guys for the current crop of GI Joes from Mezco.
Red knots,
a red emblem on this guy on the shoulder, and you know you got yourself and not the skull head, but there's again like this helmeted mask with like night vision goggles head. Again, just go watch my review on my channel. It is actually the you scroll down a little bit. There's a nice little carousel.
There you go. Look at that segue right on there. Go subscribe to at Fabster360 right on YouTube. You can also follow Fabster at 360 at Fabster360 on Instagram. Go check it out. It's got a lot of cool stuff going on.
I have a merch store too, so if you like my channel art, FABSTERshirts.com is another great.
That's actually a really amazing logo. It's really cool. So I like the color scheme. Very Miami Vice. When are you relaunching your Mezco Mondays, and are you?
Well, I'm probably moving soon, so it'll still be a little bit longer. So
a little bit longer. So you're probably happy to get
your things will be.
You're probably thrilled to get your listing. Probably thrilled to get your listing out here today.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to be able to chat about it in lieu of not making like a full video on it this year. And I have done top 10s on my channel in years past, so definitely go check those out if you're interested. But this year I just didn't get as much stuff, so it was hard to make it both the definitive things I liked list and something that I felt was like representative of all Mezco releases throughout the year. So it was nice to just have my picks here as well from what I did get. So thanks for having me on, boys.
Of course, man. And then go follow. We talked about him earlier. Dave Speck, Toy Optics, got amazing photography there of that new James Bond, Daniel Craig figure and lots of stuff, as you can see. Really cool stuff. So go follow our dude from A Toy Kind of Mood, Dave Speck there at A Toy Optics. And of course, follow us if you're not already at A Toy Kind of Mood on IG. Please like this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like the video. Really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. It's a long show, 3 hours. It was the best of figures for top 10. And then we're also, of course, right here, Instagram. YouTube. We're doing lots of short content last few months. And then coming in, we're going to have a lot of reviews and news, hopefully a lot of cool new stuff added to the channel in addition to our weekly podcast that we have on Wednesday and occasionally on Saturday. And then TikTok. A Toy Kind of Mood reviews at A Toy Kind of Mood. Go check it out at A Toy Kind of Mood reviews. Lots of cool stuff on TikTok. A lot of followers on that channel. So go check that out, gentlemen. Happy New Year and Happy New Year to everyone else watching, guys. Awesome, fun show. Really more of a learning experience instead of just okay, that's Spider-Man and that's it's GI Joe and stuff. It was really cool to see all these unique figures that we actually like to. As you can see, we're playing with them on the show itself. We weren't, a lot of cool, zany, kooky, fun things. Fun show, guys. Thank you so much for all doing it tonight.
Hey,
Willie,
thanks for having us, boys. Great year. Here's to
Willie,
2024.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. And thank you for opening all of our minds, all of you guys, to Mayfex, Jada Toys, you know, all that stuff, man. You know, Figura, Obscura, Four Horsemen, Mezco, just across the line. There's more toys than
No
the bros. Look
Funko.
at that. Go buy a we will never do a Funko episode. I can promise you that. That is my toy resolution. We've never done one anyway. So.
Remember, the only way to feel the noise is when it's good and loud.
Shout out to @Fabster for the recommendation. He loves that. He loves the Felix Toys clown.
Oh, it's a wonderful figure.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We'll
All right, boys.
We'll see you
Night,
later.
everybody.
See you well. All that fun stuff. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.